You're listening to The Final Note, live with Alex Vincent.
Alright, good evening everybody. Welcome to The Final Note. We are live. It is Wednesday, March 27th?
Yeah, maybe.
Right?
It's one of those days.
Something like that.
It's like at the end of the month, basically.
Yep, we're live, episode 10.
Oh, man.
We're here, episode 10. 10 episodes, we made it. We're still doing this, despite my recent discouragement on pushing through.
Yes, I'm very
No,
happy about
not discouragement, but I was going to take a little break. We had done, at eight episodes, I thought I was maybe out of ideas or people to talk to, but that's not the case. We still have more people to talk to, more music to play for you guys, more topics to get into, and
we could literally
more
just hang
shit
out and talk about stuff.
We could.
Life.
We could.
Talk about fishing. That's a thing now.
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll talk about that. That's a thing now. Yeah. Mikey Wells went out on the boat with me on Thursday. Joe couldn't make it.
No, I missed that. Sorry.
He predicted a doctor's appointment, and it came to fruition.
Yeah,
So,
well.
but yeah, we went out. It was a shit day. I mean, it was a nice day, but I didn't catch anything. Mikey had the hot hand, I guess, with one ladyfish and one sheep's head, but it was a slow day.
You're sounding a little bit like a fucking hater right now.
No. It was. I was happy for you, but I was disappointed for you because that was not the best day that I was hoping to offer you. I did too. My ears and the back of my neck.
Yeah, dude, me too.
My ears were like itching all week because they were burnt up.
I was getting made fun of at my shop pretty regularly for it.
Yeah, I think we're gonna go out tomorrow. We're gonna give that a shot and go out again.
Let's do it.
Joe, if you're down,
I'm down.
We'll see how it goes.
I'm gonna bring a Speedo this time, bro. Let's fucking do this.
That's not needed.
Yeah,
it's not about needing; it's about wanting.
It's just
I
about
don't want
the
it
want.
or need it.
Why is it gotta be about what you want?
Yeah, hopefully we catch some fish though. The water is still pretty cold down here, so that is kind of the problem. Once it starts to warm up, that was one of the top 3 worst fishing days I've had in Florida so far. So it's about finding the spots too. It's difficult.
I'm sorry,
it's
I missed that.
Yeah, well, it was a nice day. It was a nice day that you missed.
It wasn't the worst. It was the third worst.
I was
was the
after
third
the doctor's appointment though. I finished up this thing I sent you and Mikey.
Yeah,
which
yeah.
I don't think either one of you read.
Not
not
yet.
had the time
Not
yet.
yet. But I'm getting on a
the
plane.
show.
I'm getting on a plane on Friday, so my plan was to read it on the flight.
So
And I will read it.
We need to see how to make it happen.
I did message Kane for you about it.
That.
I don't know how you basically you wrote
Someone else's property.
Yeah, it's so loud. I know. We'll bring it down.
Well, I don't know why I hand signaled that then. If you just said what I say, it signaled.
Yeah, you were trying to be
I'm all
covert,
like,
and I was.
It's really loud.
Yeah.
He's all like, yeah, it's loud.
You wrote Friday the 13th, part 13.
I did.
Now, I'm rooting for you here, big time,
man.
but I gotta feel that there's thousands of people that wish that they wrote this movie, and you took the time to actually do it, so hopefully we could get it in the right hands of the right person and
It's all done
make
from
this
what
dream come true.
From what I understand, it's now all in the hands of Miller. Cunningham doesn't have any part of it.
Okay.
So if I can get it to Miller, and maybe he comes on board and says he approves it, then and I'll just tell him, listen, I'll go get the financing. You just say yes.
Yeah. You want to know my suggestion? My
Get the financing
suggestion
and then just give him money.
is you just befriend this guy for like 6 months before ever bringing it up.
Right.
Just get close with him. You know, it's all about who you know. You just got to put yourself in the happenstance circumstance to become good friends with this guy.
I feel like the way you're saying
Figure out what he
Sounds
needs
like a
in
lot of
life.
effort.
I feel like
You
the
need a
way
lot of
you're
effort.
saying
He's
this,
trying to be the writer of the
by the end of this,
new Friday
I'm
the
gonna be in a
13th film.
dress and high heels.
Well, I'm not
I mean,
saying-
I look like Willem Dafoe from
No.
Boondock Saints.
I'm not saying meet him in a
I mean,
hotel
he
room
could
to
have tricked
discuss
me.
this.
Just
but,
saying.
Dude, that guy couldn't trick a blind man.
Yeah.
He was a woman.
I'm into weird things, though.
But I think
Well,
I think it's the long game. You gotta get yourself slowly in that position.
Yeah,
you can't push too hard. Be like, hey, I wrote Friday the 13th.
Make it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need me.
Yeah.
You know, like
You
that.
need me.
You mean like,
I
hey,
stole
gotta-
your
this thing,
property.
want to make some money? Doesn't work?
Yeah, not really.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
What if I go get the money first? Let's say I get $3 million.
Yeah, because it takes money to make money. So you're not really saying I'm going to make you money. You're saying, hey, can you help me get millions and millions
Help
of
me
dollars
help
to
you.
make this?
Show me the money.
Yeah.
Help me help you.
Obviously, it would make money, and I haven't read it yet, but I'm sure you didn't write it as a $50 million blockbuster. You know?
No.
I think like 10
$2
million?
2 million.
Yeah,
million.
so there you go.
$2 million.
You can turn that
man.
into 20 easy, I'm sure.
Well, Part
But-
9 was made for $2 million and made $64 million. So,
There you go.
And that's like the worst one.
Yeah.
What one was
People
part
say.
9?
Well,
Jason Goes to
worse
Hell.
doesn't necessarily mean least profitable, but
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
okay. Michael Bay makes movies.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I love him.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah.
get me wrong. Transformers is awesome.
He signaled.
But-
He signaled to the computer, like, "Whoa, slow down there."
Hey,
Yeah. Just so you
Facebook.
know, I love him.
Yeah.
That was directed at all of you at once with one hand gesture. Easy, fellas. And he just happened to do it at the computer.
Yeah. Settle down.
That's where we're broadcasting,
Yeah.
so he felt the
Internet.
hate coming through the internet.
Yeah. All right,
And
was-
signaled to the internet, "Whoa."
Whoa, settle down.
Anyways, the song we played that opened the show tonight is a Christian metal band that I had the pleasure of recording at the studio. That was a track recorded at my studio, AV Productions in Clearwater, Florida. avproductionsonline.com. Well, I might as well plug myself. They're a band called Plate, and that was a song called Levy. And they are here tonight in the studio and going to be performing live for us later on.
I'm excited about
Yeah,
that.
I'm excited too. Talk about a scramble. They were very late in getting here. The show starts at 8 o'clock, and the drummer and guitar player walked in at 7:56 exactly, literally. I had the mic set up, but we had to plug in his amp, throw him on, try to get some noises coming through his guitar, and try to get it dialed in somewhat for you guys within like a minute. I had him scream a couple things into the microphone, and that's it. That's the only sound check time we have. So,
Which confused me because I thought we were taking orders, and I was like, "Can I get a number 2?" And it didn't work.
what?
There's no food.
Oh, no, there's no food.
No.
No.
It's not like a really cool movie set where you have catering and
Yeah.
No.
craft
So,
services.
so we really had no opportunity to sound check them at all. So we're winging it, and it's a 3-piece metal band with live drums and bass and guitar and vocals. But yeah, they're gonna jam out in a little bit. Their bass player is a buddy of mine who worked at the studio for a couple years with me, and we recorded the band together. And now he's since joined the band as their bass player. So, yep, Mung brought them in. Mung Parker is his name. He brought them in.
I thought you said mom.
No, Mung he goes by. His name's Garen, but
Yeah, why? Yeah.
yeah,
Mung.
Mung. If you look up the definition of that, you'd really question why he goes by that. But
Is it like,
I'll let him explain it to us when we bring him on the air.
I think I remember that from when I was like a teenager.
Yeah. Well,
Google
the
it,
actual
folks.
definition
Google
is
it.
really horrible. So I guess it depends whose dictionary you're looking in, because there's multiple definitions. But anyway,
Yeah, well, I don't think.
he's
Urban Dictionary was a
he's
thing
a great dude and a good friend. So I'm happy to play their music for you tonight. I have another song of theirs that we recorded at the studio that I'm going to play in a little bit, and they're going to perform a track live. So we'll be talking with them. And then our guest tonight is the lovely and talented Cerina Vincent, who
what a beautiful woman.
she's beautiful and she's very sweet. I've known her for a long time now. We joke around at conventions that we're married because we both have Vincent, despite the fact
Yeah.
that that's really my middle name and not my last name. But it's fun to joke around, and if I'm going to pretend to be married to someone, she was a good choice.
Yeah. I feel that you're winning in this situation.
Yeah, nobody believes it for very long, just to be clear.
Why, man? You're a
but-
nice guy.
Well,
You
hey,
I love that description of Alex. But you're But you're a nice
but
guy.
you're a nice guy.
No, well, I mean, like, you're affable. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, you're,
I'm affable. Oh, that's getting
Killing it,
a little
man.
more insulting and less complimentary by the
I mean,
moment.
like,
you know,
like,
you're
you're all right.
You're not fat.
yeah. You're pleasantly plump.
Yeah.
You know,
Come on, you got a beard. All girls love
You
beards.
look,
Yeah.
like healthy.
yeah. You look like you
Yeah.
treat yourself well.
You look comfy.
Yeah.
Like girls would love to cuddle with you.
Yeah.
Do you have
You
any
look
Twinkies?
cuddleable. That's a
Cuddleable.
great one for chubby, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. You look soft to the touch.
Yeah, you're furry.
Yeah.
Oh, shut up.
Furry. That doesn't sound too
Yeah.
good either.
No. Apparently women love it though. They love
No,
that hair.
I have a very, very beautiful, awesome girlfriend, so I do well too. But it's nice to just joke around and say she's my wife at conventions. Why
Yeah, I
not?
bet.
But yeah, she's very sweet, and she just had a baby a couple weeks ago, like 3 weeks ago or less.
Wow.
Something like that. Really, very, very recently. She was posting pregnancy photos for many months, and she
awesome.
definitely had that pregnancy glow, like more than I've seen maybe on anyone. Those pictures were like, glowing off the screen. She was just so excited about having
That's
a baby,
great.
and the baby's real cute. He's real cute, and she's been taking great pictures, and no rest for a working actress. She was back on set just last week,
Wow.
filming a new movie called The New Girl, or I'm sorry, I should check, but I think that's what it's called, The New Girl. And we're gonna chat with her about that. We're gonna chat with her about Cabin Fever, which is
For sure.
one of my favorite horror
One
films.
of my favorites. Yep.
I actually saw that in the theaters, I remember. There was a couple very disturbing images in that film. This was right at the beginning of Eli Roth's
Yeah.
career.
Well, just after Trauma, because he was with Trauma for a
Yeah.
while, and then he did Cabin Fever, and I loved it. And it's great.
Howard Stern has a great story about Eli Roth where, and it's his story to tell because I'll fuck it up. I don't remember it that well. But Eli Roth was like on a movie set with, I don't know if it was Private Parts or if it was something else that he was doing where he was, Eli Roth was sitting outside of Howard's door for many days as like, that was his job to just sit and guard Howard's door. And he was writing the whole time. And I think that's when he was writing Cabin Fever, which ended up becoming a big hit, especially for horror, and led to a lot of other films by that guy. What has he done recently? What's like the recent Eli Roth
Green
project?
Inferno.
Yeah, The Green Inferno.
was
He
awesome.
acts a lot too.
Really?
You know? He's been in a ton of stuff as an actor.
He did
a
one
lot
called
of Tarantino
Aftershock.
stuff.
That might have been just acting, though. I can't be for sure.
Here, I'll
But
look right
he's
now.
the fucking bear Jew. Like,
Okay, so he did
He will
House
always
with
be
the
known.
Clock in its Walls.
that's right. Oh, I forgot. It's a kids' movie.
He's Cabin
Yeah.
Fever.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was so wait, this doesn't make any sense.
They remade Cabin
And
Fever.
Cabin
but
Fever did some sequels too, right?
They also just did a remake of it.
Oh yeah, okay. 2016, I saw that.
Holy shit! Inglorious Bastards was 2009.
Yeah.
Yeah, time flies.
Man, yeah, because he was in all of those too. He's in all of Tarantino's shit
Yeah.
as an actor.
So
helps him
and
with
yeah,
the
she
gore,
was
too.
also Areola in Not Another Teen Movie, which I always loved. I love that movie.
He did Clown.
Oh,
It gets a lot of praise.
I haven't seen that.
It's alright.
Did he direct it?
Yeah, he's in it too.
Yeah, no, he plays a clown in it. I remember that at the beginning. It was I liked that movie, Clown. I thought it was like a fun little horror film. It's like
Yeah?
this popcorn
Cool.
movie. Yeah.
Yeah, she's fun to chat. She'll be fun to chat with. I heard back from Danielle Harris. She's going to come on the show soon, which is
Nice.
exciting. I've always been a big fan of her work, especially The Last Boy Scout.
Yes.
Love her in that movie. So yeah, she's going to be on, and I think Ed Gale is going to be on next week. I know a lot of you were hoping that I would have him on, so I think he will be our guest next week, which is pretty cool.
When's Brad coming on?
That's a tough one.
Yeah,
That'll
you don't
probably
think
never
he will?
happen.
You don't think he will?
No, I don't think so.
Dude, he's
no.
he's been your friend for like 20 years.
Well,
Thought you were friends till the end. What the hell?
we're friends till the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. Have you ever met Brad?
No.
He's a very introverted
private.
kind of. He's a very deep guy and fascinating to talk to. And when he is in a talkative mood, he's great to be near because you get a lot of interesting stuff out of him. But he generally is kind of like would rather not.
Yeah.
It seems. He's a gamer, believe it or not. He likes to stay home and play games.
Like video games?
Like
or
video
like
games.
D&D?
Like computer games.
That's
I have
cool.
so many more questions for him
Yeah,
now.
now that's just doubled my list.
Yeah. He's a
Yeah.
fascinating guy and an amazing actor, but I don't really expect him to be on the show. I asked Fiona about it, and she didn't get back to me yet, but
What about
she'll probably come on.
JT? She coming on?
Yeah, that's also a very long shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably not.
I want to start a horror poker show. Okay? It doesn't have to
Sold.
be like a long ongoing series. People might not be interested that much, but maybe like a special or something called Killer Cards.
Oh, I love it.
And it's a bunch of horror people together playing poker and talking
charity.
horror movies. And I think Jennifer Tilly will definitely jump on board then. That's
Right.
probably the
Is
best
this
way
like a dinner for five type
to
of
get
thing?
her involved in something. Like some kind of thing where we get together and chat about horror movies while we play poker. And
Okay.
call it Killer Cards.
Yeah.
Fair?
That would
So,
be a cool thing.
yeah.
That would be nice to shoot.
Yeah. Well, I just spoke with a friend of mine, Steve from Ghost Hunters, who's a good dude, Steve Gonzalez. And
Gonzalez, yeah, man. Steven Tango.
he's a good dude, and he showed me basically what a pitch deck is, and like the proper way to pitch ideas to networks,
Yeah.
which was very kind of him. And he sent me an example of one that he did for a show. It's a lot of work to put one of these together, no doubt. But I
have
guess
like
the reward
6.
is high, so it's
Yeah.
it's worth the effort of putting it together. But
I do that for every screenplay.
yeah,
Every one.
so I gotta get a couple of my show ideas and put that together.
The group one I love.
The
I was thinking about
series,
that
yeah.
today.
Oh, well,
I was actually thinking about that.
yeah, cool. We'll talk about that soon.
Yeah.
I did write the outline for the pilot. I really don't have a laptop right now, and I think that's what's holding me back from writing often, because
Probably.
yeah, I could do it with my thumbs or I could do it with a pen, but I'd be more prone to do it if I had a laptop. Truth is, I have like 4 laptops and the screens are broken on all of them.
Stop kicking them.
Yeah, that's basically what has happened. Accidental kicks, but yeah.
Yeah. I just want a montage of you kicking 4 computers. every
Yeah,
day.
it's happened.
Yeah.
It's happened. 2 MacBooks ruined.
Oh,
I know.
man. I'd be left in the cold if my
Yeah.
laptop died.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I could plug them in. Like I can plug them into a TV and use the TV screen as the screen. Like the computers
nice,
themselves
yeah.
still work,
Yeah.
but that just made them a desktop. Like
Yeah.
it defeated the whole
Yeah,
thing.
it can't go just sit anywhere.
Yeah.
Did you you don't play video games though?
I play sports games
Because
I'm a beast at 2K.
A teaser dropped today that I cannot wait.
For what?
Borderlands 3.
Oh,
Oh, man,
Not aware of
need
those
a,
games.
Like, nerd alert.
Yeah,
little
yeah, yeah.
button.
yeah. We need a nerd sound effect to play.
Oh boy. Yeah, close. Yeah. Wow. That's better. Yeah.
Yeah, sounds
So,
right.
Mikey, you play Borderlands?
I don't really play a lot of video games. Unfortunately.
Well, I'm very excited. Borderlands is one of my favorite series.
Cool.
Besides
I'm
Fallout.
excited for you.
Yeah, it's cool, man.
Yeah,
It's a cool
nice.
thing.
I wish I
I
could
thought maybe you saw
play
it.
video
So, have you finally walked out of Red Dead? Are you out of that world right
Yeah,
now? or-
basically, I
Yeah.
reinstalled everything for Fallout 4 yesterday and played a little bit today. I
Oh,
was
okay.
just like,
Yeah.
I opened Red Dead. I was way the fuck in the desert somewhere, and I was like, I'm not riding to Valentine.
Yeah.
I'm not it's 10 minutes. Fuck it, I'm done.
No, when I waste my time, it's usually playing NBA 2K.
Yeah.
I'm really good at it. Actually, 2K18, I'm currently ranked like 123rd in the world in the My Team mode,
Wow.
which is pretty
Is that-
impressive, I gotta say.
I wish I had a button thing over here. I could.
Yeah, yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah, exactly. Lottie fucking da!
Dude. Yeah, no,
I
I'm
never
good
got
at that.
into sports games.
I love sports games. Yeah,
I wanted to like. I think the
Madden.
closest
I
ever
enjoy
got
them.
to
I used to
was
love hockey games. And,
one called. It was a football game where when you hit somebody, it zoomed into like their bones breaking. and
oh,
shit.
I don't know. That
was the name
I
of that
kind of
game?
remember that sort of. It's like the NBA Jam of football games. Then there was Mutant League football, which was a lot of fun.
Oh, I don't know that.
Yeah, you could do all kinds of crazy, like aliens playing on different planets.
Oh, that's cool.
It was fun. And you could do like all weird, ridiculous things like fart for 10 yards and like, like it was a silly game.
I might want to check that out now.
Yeah. It's probably one of those games that when you go back to it, it's not nearly as cool. The Friday the 13th video game, did you play that?
No, I just saw that post. She's
Yeah.
like, play that. No, I watched a bunch of it, and then I read reviews.
I watched some walkthroughs.
Yeah.
And it's super bad, apparently.
I have it. It's difficult. It's very
super
difficult.
janky. Yeah, and
I have a hard time with it.
Glitchy?
And then like you're just randomly Jason. You don't know whether you're going to be Jason or one of the other people.
right.
And then right before it, and you can only play online, as far
Yeah.
as I know. You can't just like set a match to get good at it. It's only online. And I played it for like several times, and once I was finally Jason, and I was so excited.
Yeah.
And I didn't kill anybody because I was horrible at it. Like,
You just
it
walked in the
sucked. Yeah, it
swamp
sucked.
forever.
I had the chance
Yeah.
to be Jason, and nobody died. They
No,
let
man.
me.
So you're
They were
not like
walking around me like
123rd in the world
smoking
at being
blunts,
Jason?
blowing it in my face, and like
See, I think
making out in front of me, and just
a Jason game would be you start as Jason.
Yeah.
It's it could be first person or third person, and it's a 3D game. You're going through Crystal Lake, and you have to kill everybody, and then there's like a main good guy boss who's you got to kill to win. You got to kill everybody at the lake,
yeah.
and that's how you win the game.
I did read the first 5 pages of your script so far, so I do know the
nice.
setup. I know basically
Nice.
where what's
Yeah.
happening here.
God, I wish. Oh man, I'm not gonna say. That.
Yeah, we can't really
I
talk
can
about
say
it.
this
It's in
though.
yeah.
It has the most kills.
Out of anyone, did you
Any
go back
one.
and research that to make sure of it?
Yeah, there ain't nobody got 45 kills in
Yeah.
the Friday the 13th movie. That's one every 2 pages.
45. Damn. Okay.
17 women.
My first thought, actually, from what I was reading, was that maybe he needed to be introduced a little earlier, just because it's a known thing now. It's not like
Right.
the first Jason where you
No.
kind of wait for him
It-
to.
it
I thought
gets
maybe
to
he
the-
could have made his presence known a little earlier.
He comes in about 15 minutes.
Yeah, that's
wanted
a little late for
Well, I
for.
wanted to build. It's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
he just makes up for it.
Yeah, okay. That's true.
Once he's in, it's over.
Yeah.
If you're a human, you're not going to make it out. You don't survive.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited about it, man.
Well, cool.
Did you like finally make one where he kills everyone in the movie and wins like in the video game?
I'm not going to tell you.
Yeah.
I'm
All
not
right.
gonna tell
You're
you.
gonna have to read it. and then
But
we'll know.
there are plenty of callbacks to other characters. There's but there doesn't have to be if we can't get those kind of rights. Like one of the leads is a character from part 4,
Okay.
the final chapter.
Yeah.
I brought that character back, right? But if we can't get them, or they don't, we can't get the rights to the character because someone
Right.
else
That's
created that
entirely
character.
possible, and then you have to
Yeah.
just change it a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
We'll
what
see.
you really need to do is if you could get it in the hands of the right person and they read it and they think
love
there's enough things about it are interesting that they really want to make it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
You're talking
Because
about
I think
Crispin
you could
Glover?
get it. I think you could. Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't. What was that?
He said he's talking about Kristen Glover. That'd be brilliant, but he dies. He's dead.
Oh.
And I was actually I know who you're talking about, but
Yeah.
I was just trying to throw like some nerd trivia into there.
Yeah.
No, that'd be hysterical, though.
I think if you could you got to get in the good graces of the right person.
Of
I had
course.
an idea once for a film about a guy who happenstances his way into everything. He accomplishes so much, not by conning people,
luck.
just by
Yeah.
instead, if he wants something, instead of doing the work to get that thing, instead he private detectives his way into getting involved with those people's lives, the
Right.
people that could help him's lives. Like helps them like stages a dangerous thing and then saves their life from some guy.
Yeah.
So this guy's indebted
Accidentally.
to him.
Yeah.
You know.
I see. Right,
so
right,
instead,
right.
so he kind of happenstances his way into positions of power.
Nice.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Here's a little fact.
I shared a bunch of my ideas on the boat with you. I got some good thoughts for some things.
you
I
right?
got a bunch
Yeah.
of stuff.
Yeah.
Here, I thought the script I just wrote, the Friday the 13th, was my 30th script, and it turns out it's my 31st.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. 13 backwards.
Right.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
I had sent a couple ideas to Steve Gonzalez. We were talking about all this pitch decks, and
Yeah.
I told him I have all these ideas. Then I sent him like 3 ideas, and he read it and didn't respond. It made me feel like, oh wait, Did I just send him 3 shit ideas and now he's already? But
He's out hunting ghosts, man.
Yeah, he's a busy dude. Great guy, super nice guy.
Are they still doing Ghost Hunters? Because I can't find it.
I think so, or some version of it, maybe, or probably live things like they do, like live ghost hunter gathering things where they ghost hunt with people.
Wow.
Eastern State Penitentiary. I did with those guys once.
They really made that thing.
That was cool.
Profitable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a super nice guy too. Ex-cop.
Yeah, he's
an ex-cop.
The way he talks. He's
very soft-spoken. Yeah. He would have made a good psychotherapist.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
He is to ghosts.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, I guess.
I love the stuff he says on that show, too. Like, does anyone want to give me a sign of your presence?
Yeah, yeah. We're not going to hurt you.
I got into an afterlife thought the other day, which would open up a whole conversation, I guess. But basically my thought was that, and I've had this thought many times about life, people think that those who apply logic and sensibility and like reason and science, etc., they believe that when you die, it's obviously nothing. Everything ends because I don't want to get too deep into it, but basically because an afterlife would be impossible. And my argument was that the definition of possible, which is a human construct, is limited to humans' ability to understand. Like, what we're able to understand is what defines what is possible and impossible. And when you look at life itself here, and the fact that all of this exists, that's about as impossible as anything I could think of. Like, scientists can explain everything back to a point, and then it reaches the unexplainable, a energy and creation of sorts that is unexplainable and is basically impossible, beyond what humans can understand. So my thought and I was asserting the idea that logic cannot depict that an afterlife would be impossible, because it wouldn't be any more impossible than this existence is. If you were trying to explain this life idea as a fiction story for a screenplay to someone, and you explained everything about life, there's going to be billions of species, there's going to be multiple galaxies, we're going to be a small part rotating universe. The sun, life, a sperm and an egg, and you tell the whole story of all that.
Yeah, a whale and a shark.
Versus any version of an afterlife concept that would people think they can use logic to disprove because, that's not possible. Well, is it any more impossible than all of this that we experience already anyway?
Which I think this is a good segue
really
into
deep,
our...
Man.
Yeah. Well, it's a good segue really deep, into our topic tonight.
Yeah, it is. So our topic tonight, one of the things I wanted to talk about, which I've been wanting to talk about for a while, is conspiracy theories. And we'll touch on a couple of them in particular to have the conversation, but I also really wanted to talk about why people are interested in conspiracy theories. What about that is appealing? Is it appealing to a certain type of people more than others? Is there what is intriguing about it to us? Why is our trust so damaged that? We know why. We've been lied to all the time. I mean, obviously, but I'm saying, that is why. That's the answer why. But how does that play into our interest in conspiracy theories to begin with? And also, what about our desire to have a vivid imagination of grandeur, of elaborate, intense, grand schemes of deception? That's
this is no different than someone writing a screenplay, man. Life is no different. I realized not too long ago that it doesn't matter what you do. It really doesn't matter. Okay, I realized this the night we were doing our podcast, and I said, I figured it out. Remember we were talking about the Garden of Eden?
Right.
And I was like, I finally figured out what the apple means. Right? And that's when I started realizing, like, it doesn't matter what you do, man. It doesn't matter because you're gonna die anyways.
Yeah.
You're gonna die anyways,
Right.
right? So just fucking live life to make yourself happy.
Of course.
Don't be a lunatic.
I've been thinking about this a lot lately
Yeah,
too,
you
for
have to go
a
kill
number of
people, I
reasons.
mean.
Just kind of about the difference between your aspirations and being content with what you have. I think it's good to have goals and dreams and aspirations for the future, but if they're so debilitating to your mental state that you're so anxious to get yourself to another place in life, then you spend so much time not enjoying the place that you're in and not appreciating the present because you're consumed with a responsibility to get yourself to a better future.
Yeah, man, just live in the moment.
Yeah. I kind of
know?
segued off conspiracy theories, but we're going to come back.
No, we're coming back.
We're going to come back to the conspiracy
Sorry.
theory chat here in a few minutes. But first, we're going
Richard
to call.
Nixon, is he a ghost?
Did you see any of that Tricky Dick special yet? On that's what it's called. It's
Were
on
you looking at my
CNN.
browser?
It's on CNN. It's called
No.
Tricky Dick. It's a special about Richard Nixon.
Oh, no,
Part
I-
2 was
no,
this
I'm,
past Sunday
I'm
that I
like-
got to go see.
I don't really watch TV.
Yeah.
I have internet. We don't have cable.
Yeah.
Because we got Netflix and Hulu and Amazon and shit, and I play video games all the time, so
Yeah.
we don't need cable. But I listen to Coast to Coast. You listen to that
No.
with George Norrie? Well,
No.
God rest his soul. Coast to Coast is a show about aliens and
Oh, okay.
conspiracy theories and stuff, and it's a really cool show, man.
I mean, I know. Excuse me. Sorry. I know there is a lot of content out there for conspiracy theorists to endlessly go down rabbit holes of information, especially on YouTube.
Yeah.
It's probably millions of conspiracy theory videos at this point,
Pages.
with millions and millions of hits. Yeah.
Millions of pages with millions of
Yeah,
videos. with
so many
millions
people,
of- yeah.
and I do kind of, I always hate to make prejudgments about people and prejudice, stereotype people, but it does seem to me, and it just kind of logically makes sense, but that unemployed people, especially unemployed video gamers, like unemployed gamers, I think are the most prone to get deep into conspiracy theories.
Yeah, they have nothing else to do.
They have a lot of time on their hands,
Yeah.
and they enjoy fantasy world. They're
Yeah.
they're gamers. They like fantasy world.
It's a little much for me sometimes.
Well, I mean, a lot of people they kind of pick up on the idea that they figured something out no one else has as well.
That's a big part of it. That's part of what I
And-
wanted to
and
talk
part
about.
of it
It's
is
being
that-
in on the secret. It's being like.
What do you guys think about the flat Earth thing?
We
fucking
could talk about
stupid.
that too. It's the
It's not
stupid. It is
flat.
the
Shut
stupidest.
up. It's not
It's very
flat.
difficult to even listen to those people
Yeah, they're
talk
fucking
because
idiots.
they're so sure of themselves about something so insanely.
They're full of shit and they
Yeah.
know it. And
It
they're
kind of
fucking
starts
with us.
with,
Yeah.
first of all, you have to forget everything you think you know.
yeah. That's when it starts that way, you're dealing with an interesting breed. Yes, I do think it's almost like a trolling thing. It's almost like they're in on a sketch against
Yeah.
us, like where it's like,
Didn't I?
They all get together and
Yeah.
laugh at the news videos.
yeah,
that
laugh
come
at
out.
laugh at people
They're like,
making
"Look at
fun of
these
them.
idiots,
Think,
look at
think,
these
yeah.
fucking idiots."
It's almost got to be that
It
because
has to be.
because anything else is so
I expect to
unfathomably insane.
See Joey Fatone at some point coming out and going, "All right, you fucking idiots."
Yeah, this has been a long running prank.
Yeah, exactly.
All right,
a little wacky.
we're gonna take a break. I'm gonna play a song for you guys, and then we're gonna bring Cerina on and chat with her about her career and her life and whatever we want to talk to her about. I worked on Sunday with an artist from down here, a local hip hop rap dude named Uzi Dre. Joe knows him and has gotten to work with him also. Or not work with him yet, but we're going to do some music videos for him and stuff.
He comes to my studio and hangs out.
I worked on a music video with him a couple years back now. That was very fun. It was the kind of typical mansion, rented, awesome cars,
Yeah.
street kind of money thrown around rap video. But it was a
like-
lot of fun. It was
Dude,
really a lot of fun. And he's
like
actually
Uzi.
he's
I really
very
do, man.
very talented.
Yeah, he's
He's a
just
good
to
dude.
talk to him is like eye opening because
Yeah.
he's very he has a lot of wisdom.
And also, he's not just talking a game. I mean, he was in jail for like 20 years.
Yeah.
He's had a hard life. He's gone through
was
some
at my
hard
studio.
things. He's a true fiend gangster, as he would say.
He's at my studio, and it's just me and him, man. We're smoking weed, right?
Yeah.
And no, we're not. I'm kidding. He's not. Just
It's fine.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I don't think he cares about that.
Yeah. And he starts telling me about his life, and I'm looking around, and I'm like, dude, this guy just got out of prison. He's gonna kill me.
No, yeah,
but
he's
dude
not.
Will kill me, man.
Yeah. He's
He's
no joke. He's not
Yeah.
fronting. He's not
But
he's not a
nicest
poser.
guy,
He's not he is genuine in expressing the hardships of his life
Yeah, we
through
talk
his
on
music.
the phone, man, and he'll be like, Joe, how you doing, man? What's it going? You just working hard? I'm working hard.
Oh, and he's a hustler too.
Yeah.
A real deal hustler all the time. Always hustling something. Always up to something. Always got a new fun scheme, kind of new thing.
Yeah, he's got a great idea for
he's a
distribution.
good dude, and he's one of, if not the most talented rapper I've worked with. So yeah, I'm happy to play this song for him. This is a track we recorded together many months ago, and he's just releasing it today, actually. So I figured today would be a good time to play it. We're gonna be back with Cerina Vincent after this. This is Uzi Dre with Drop and Go.
Cash for the weed, pills, age, and the blow. Prices jumping up and down, but we get it for the low. Niggas out here talking, man, keep that on the low. Ain't no time for conversation, get your product, drop and go. Cash for the weed, pills, age, and the blow. Prices jumping up and down, but we get it for the low. Oh, yeah, niggas out here talking, man, keep that on the low. Ain't no time for conversation, get your product, drop and go. Drop and go, 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 drop and go. I used to be down to earth, not dance with the stars. If not in the studio, flipping the thought with clean perks and bars. Watching what like DT cars through the monitor. Shit on flame, too hot for a thermometer. They on the beat like a producer. So I'm a early bird catching a worm. Call me a rooster, y'all like getting this money. Stay still, be quiet, nothing moving but the money. Cause niggas shady, plus crooked authorities lurking. And that's for certain. So the wrong slip up could cause a closed curtain. My so-called friends are crossing for a couple of ends. Trying to eat off the same plate, but they stealing with the sins. Thank the Lord for mama, sweet lady, that's my baby. However she kill me, knowing I'm with a circle of blood money. My homie got 17 rounds to the pavement. Now his other homie was advised about it in arraignment. Damn. So don't come around think it's a game. Niggas own design and shit for the t-shirts with names. Dropping gold, nigga. Cash for the weed, pills, H, and the blow. Prices jumping up and down, but we get it for the low. Niggas out here talking, man, keep that on the low. Ain't no time for conversation, get your product, drop and go. Cash for the weed, pills, age, and the blow. Prices jumping up and down, but we get it for the low. Oh, yeah, niggas out here talking, man, keep that on the low. Ain't no time for conversation, get your product, drop and go. Drop and go, 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 drop and go. Oh yeah.
All right, we're back. Whoa. All right, sorry. All right, we're back.
Okay.
Well, it's a live show. This is our 10th live show.
Yay!
I could have made this a edited, high produced show, but I thought going live would be more fun, especially with the live music, and give us opportunities to be more off the cuff and spontaneous.
And what have we learned?
Well, this is the first time in 10 episodes, but Cerina didn't answer when I called during the break. So, we'll see. Hopefully she calls us back. And if she does, we'll just plug her right in and have a conversation with her. But I called and she didn't answer. It's a live show, so we'll see. Hopefully she'll be there. I'll try her back in a little bit if she's not. But we'll see. Hopefully she'll call us back right now.
Give it a shot.
And we'll chat with her then.
We can get onto our theories.
Yeah, well, we could get onto our topic in the meantime.
Yeah.
Sure, we do have plenty to talk about. But I do hope she calls back. So, anyways, conspiracy theories as the other topic we were going to talk about. And we'll get back to Cerina if we hear from her. I just talked to her like an hour ago, too, and she was like, thumbs up, cool, ready to go. She got caught up with something. She has a 3-week-old baby, so
so she's probably like with
anything could have happened. Yeah,
she could be.
The baby could have pulled her away from the phone.
Yeah,
it's fine.
Absolutely.
So we got to blame the baby now. That's what's going on here.
Well,
I've been blaming my child for 3 years.
Yeah, that's nothing new. So when talking about conspiracy theories, first of all, obviously, let's go through a couple of them. There's a bunch. I mean, there's a bunch. JFK is one of the most popular ones.
Yeah.
Real popular conspiracy theory. The grassy knoll, what happened there that day. It does seem... Oh, here she is. She's calling. All right, we're going to get back to it. I'm going to talk to her right now. Hi. Hi, Cerina. Hold on one second. Let me plug you right in here.
You're going live.
There you are. Yep, we're live right now.
Oh, cool.
Hi.
Yay. Hello, everyone. I'm
That's
so
okay.
happy to be on with you.
Hello.
Me too. We're happy to have you. How is new motherhood over there?
It's crazy and awesome, and it's honestly like the coolest. It truly is the coolest job I've ever had.
Yeah, I can imagine.
They say there's nothing like it, all that, and it's true. But it's crazy. The sleep deprivation is...
It's real, right? It's not a joke, huh?
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
Cerina, is this your first child?
It is.
It is,
my first baby. I had a baby 3 days before I turned 40.
Oh, man. Congratulations.
That's
man.
awesome.
I have a 3-year-old.
And what is he, 3 weeks old now or something? About there?
7 weeks.
Oh, okay.
7.
Oh, wow, that went fast, yeah.
Yeah, sleep deprivation is not a joke. You will not sleep for the first year and a half, I guarantee it.
Yeah.
Because I didn't. I walked
like...
No, go ahead.
What did you say? Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, no, you go ahead.
You go ahead.
No, it's just crazy that you think like that before you have kids.
Yeah.
You think you're tired.
Yeah.
And then you have a baby, and then it's like a whole new level of sleep.
Yeah.
You don't ever
never knew what tired was until now.
Yeah.
It's no joke.
But anyway, it's all worth it. It's like the greatest love ever. It's being in love times a million.
Well, that's awesome, and yeah, if you deserve nothing less than the greatest love ever, because you're a sweetheart, and I was very happy I got to see you at a convention while you were pregnant, because I even wrote you this in a message, but people talk about the glow of being pregnant and the pregnancy glow, and I don't think anyone was ever more radiant in their pregnancy that I saw than you. I mean, you took such gorgeous pictures, and you could tell how truly excited you were and in love already and happy, and I'm just very happy for you that you found this much happiness in your life over the last just couple of years. It's a good change for the better for you. That's exciting and happy to see for you, because you deserve that.
Thank you. You're so sweet. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's really special. But it takes one to know one, so it takes someone to have all that.
Oh, well, thanks.
Light and goodness in order to recognize it in someone.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Yes, so it's true. You have all that.
As I've mentioned,
I mean, maybe not the pregnancy glow. You don't have.
No, not that. Not yet. Maybe I'll have it someday. But
Yeah.
I mentioned that earlier that you've always been fun to pretend that we're married at conventions because of the common
Totally.
name, despite the fact
Yeah.
that that's actually my middle name. But most people don't know that my last name is just way too Italian for show
What
business.
is it?
Paisano.
Yeah, paisano. Yeah, it's cannoli. My last name is Lo Scialpo.
What?
I was named after my grandfather, who was from Italy, and
Did he have puppets?
his full name is Alejandro Vincenzo Lo Scialpo,
That is
and that's
amazing.
my name in
That's
Italian.
beautiful.
Yeah,
I mean, it
That's
sounds
beautiful.
really nice, but
but it's a bit
Alex
much
Vincent
for
ravioli
a.
is way cooler.
Yeah, Alex Vincent works better, I think.
It does because it is that's like how people know you. But
Yeah.
it's all. I named my baby after my great grandfather, one of my great grandfathers from Italy,
Yeah.
Nicola.
Vincent's been a common name in show business too. Frank Vincent. There's
Yeah.
been a lot of Vincents
Yeah.
out there.
Vincent Price.
But Vincent is my real last name.
Yeah, it is your real last name. Well, it was. Now you're married, so.
Alex is just
Well, I'm not
posing.
married actually.
Oh, you're
married.
not yet. Oh, I'm sorry.
No,
Oh, okay.
not yet. No.
He's
I mean, I've been
he's
married.
a great
You know
guy though.
that.
He's a great guy. I'm
He is.
I'm a fan. I'm a fan.
Okay, good.
I like him. Yeah.
You like Mike? Good.
Yeah.
I've been married, but
Yeah, you were
then,
previously.
well,
I remember that. Yeah.
But I just feel like at some point in life you can do things in whatever order you want to do them.
Yeah.
I agree.
Of course. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you got
Can we move on to the thing
Yeah.
I care most about?
What's
Hi,
that?
Sarah. It's Joe.
this is Joe, by the way,
Hi,
a friend of
how
mine
are
on the
you?
show, Joe
Hi,
Davison.
Joe.
Hi.
Joe was nerdy tech on Stranger Things too.
Yeah, this is co-star.
He's getting us all
It was
jobs
a
on
big
Stranger Things.
role. Nerdy tech. He
Yeah.
got a few episodes on
That is-
Stranger
so
Things too.
I would have played like a tree in
Oh,
Stranger Things.
Just to be on that
So,
show, right?
Man,
Yeah,
I
you
tell
and me
to be on
both.
that show.
It is
You and me both.
next level crazy.
Yeah, it was a great gig for him to
But
get.
I want to talk
But
about
anyway,
Workaholics, man.
you want to talk about Workaholics?
Workaholics. What was that like?
Wait, you want to talk about Workaholics? Is that what
Yeah.
you said?
Yeah, that's what he said.
Oh.
Serena has been very lucky. You've worked on a bunch of popular
Dude,
shows.
she's on like three.
I
of
mean,
my
you've
favorite
really gotten
shows.
episodes in some great shows. I mean, obviously,
you.
Stuck in the Middle was like game changing for your career. I see it.
Stuck in the Middle was good game changing and all.
57 episodes on a Disney show is pretty phenomenal.
Yeah.
No, that's a big deal. But I was going to
I'll
say,
tie that into Workaholics if you want me to.
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
What do you want to know
So-
about it, Joe?
I
Well-
love the show. I thought
Yeah.
it's right up. It's like what I'm trying to do right now
Yeah.
with that pilot.
So, what was that experience like for you, Serena?
So it was one of those auditions where I didn't really know the show. I didn't know the guys, but I got the audition, and it was to play a chick with a dick. That was
Oh,
like
really?
that was the character description. Yeah,
Okay.
a chick with a dick, and I read the material. And I was like, no,
Did you-
I'm not going in. It's
did you
like,
call-
I
did you-
don't want to. I
did you-
can't keep doing roles like this.
Yeah.
And then and if I want one day to like be a mom on a Disney show, so this was like a few years ago, right?
Yeah.
And so I passed on the audition, and then casting kept calling my agent, and my manager was like, just go in, they love you
Yeah.
over there, just like go in and be funny and whatever. You probably won't get it anyway. So, so I don't know what he said.
That's
Anyway,
great.
I went
Yeah,
in.
good.
That's
in
what
and
we
I got
hear,
it.
no matter what.
Yeah, no matter what we're auditioning for, it's like
Yeah.
I'm not going to fucking get this butter commercial. I don't care.
So,
Anyway,
so
I
you
go
got,
in, I get it, obviously.
Yeah.
And it was all and then I did my research before I went on the audition. But those guys are amazing, and their story is incredible. The fact that they basically shot their own little web series in
Yeah.
this house in Van Nuys, California, and
Yeah.
then got a deal with Comedy Central, and then bought the house that they were all living in, and made that a
Yeah.
studio. I don't know, their story is amazing. They were all really cool. My scenes are with Adam.
So did you
Devine.
did you ultimately play a chick with a dick?
I played a chick with a dick,
Oh.
and I had
Did
to
you
make
call
out with
did you
Adam.
call Felissa Rose for advice on how to how to play one of them? You remember,
didn't.
yeah, Felissa Rose. She played a chick with a dick rather famously in Sleepaway Camp. You know her from conventions.
Totally,
Yeah.
totally forgot about that.
Yeah,
Did
yeah.
not call her. Should have. She was sweetie.
That would have been a funny call. Hey, I'm playing a chick with a dick. Any advice for me?
Any advice?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was a blast. Those guys are great.
Yeah.
But so anyway, going back to Stuck in the Middle and tying that in, I was always playing with those kinds of like sexier, racier,
Sure.
whatever, daring kind of roles. And I kept hearing from agents and people like, you need to cross over, you need to be able to do, that's not gonna last forever. So getting the role on Stuck in the Middle as a mom was awesome, because now I can do all of those things. Well, maybe. I mean, I don't know if anybody's gonna ask me to play a chick with a dick again, but
it's interesting.
I can definitely do mom roles.
It is interesting though that this mom role that you had for a couple years on this show led directly into your own motherhood in life. Do you think maybe playing that character got you more interested in the idea?
That's great.
Well, it definitely. I fell in love with those kids on the show. I mean, I still love them. They're awesome.
Yeah.
They're, but I don't know. It was life changing for me. I'll say this: it was life changing for me. The role, the job, all of it, and I was like meditating on. Sounds cheesy, but it's true. On a gig like that, where I could be in LA and be in my own house and just have something regular for a while, instead of being like all over the planet trying to like make ends meet and make everything work and keep it all together.
Yeah.
And then once I was on that show, when I first started that week, I was just going through a divorce at the beginning of that show, and then by the end, or beginning of the original pilot, and then by the end, like, I had my life more together, and then I was meditating on really wanting to have a baby and be a mama. So,
well, it worked out perfectly, though. I do think it's pretty cool that you got introduced to the horror genre and that crazy group of appreciative fans that we all enjoy meeting around the world at these conventions. With pretty early in your career with Cabin Fever, which is I saw it in the theater, and I don't go see horror movies as often as most of the horror fans that I know. But I did see Cabin Fever in the theater, and I remember how badly you made me cringe with that leg shaving scene. That was like traumatizing for me in that movie. But
that's awesome.
How soon after making Cabin Fever did you do your first horror convention?
Good question. Okay, Cabin Fever was a total game changer for me as far as like. Suddenly I was, that and Not Another Teen Movie,
which also I absolutely love. I'm a much bigger comedy fan than I am horror, but Not Another Teen Movie, you were fantastic in.
Thank you.
And you had such great quotes, such amazing quotes from that movie too.
Thank you. That immediately, Cabin Fever immediately put me on the map in the horror genre, which was awesome.
Yeah.
But this weird thing happened where I did this very successful horror film and this very successful comedy, but got paid barely scale on both of them.
Yeah.
So I was in these huge movies that were, super successful.
Yeah.
And I was in all these magazines, FHM and Maxim and stuff and all that stuff.
Yeah, and you barely got paid shit for the movie. Yeah.
And I was totally broke.
Yeah,
and
I can relate to that. Yeah.
And I was like, I was young enough to where I was still trying to convince my parents that this was the right thing that I was doing to quit college and do this. So I would hear about there's these you can go around the world and sign autographs for horror fans and make money, and I'm like, how do you get into that club? What do you mean I remember I did a movie with Amber Benson from Buffy, and she was going to a convention, and I think it was in 2004. I did my first show, and
Okay.
somehow someone contacted me,
And Cabin Fever was what, 2001, right? Right around then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2001. Yeah. And yeah, it was amazing. And then it was, what's amazing about conventions, and you know this, Alex, is that it's not just you get to meet your fans, but then you get to meet all these other people in the business that you would have never, ever gotten to hang out with.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's real life.
It's a family of friends that travel around the country and sometimes even into other countries with each other, with this like rotating group of friends.
And like you
and that
see
part
each
is
other,
really
it's
fun.
Like no time has passed.
It sounds very carny.
It is a little bit. We are like a traveling carny.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. It's a freak show, and
well,
we're the freaks.
There. It's like the same thing.
Yeah.
I never would have thought like that until I got booked because of Stranger Things.
And then you were on that side of the table, and then you see,
they're just everywhere. Like,
it's interesting. I mean, it's great seeing their appreciation, but yeah, as you say, Cerina, that group of friends, that expanding and extended group of celebrity, if you will, but friends that work in this industry with us and are part of the horror family. It's really great to see all of us and look forward to it. And we got to go to some really cool places. That convention that we did together in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, I still remember like very fondly. That was a really fun weekend.
Yes, it was. It was.
It's such a cool little town.
I think I'm going back there.
Really?
Knoxville, Tennessee.
Oh, Knoxville. I did a show in Knoxville once called like Adventure Con many years ago.
Okay.
But
okay.
Your phone goes off every show.
Jesus Christ!
Take your pills, man.
Yeah.
Dude, it was.
But no, I mean, and then there's I just did a show over the weekend that was one of those very, very small shows. It was in Little Rock, Arkansas. And I was describing last week the difference in experience. Obviously, for your pocket or making money, it's great to go to these really big, busy shows like a Texas Frightmare or Monster Mania.
Yeah.
But these little small shows, it's very interesting what the experience is. It's super intimate for the fans that are there. And if you can not, be discouraged or disappointed by the fact that it is slow, and make the most of your weekend being there and having fun in the experience. The people there are so appreciative that you're in their little town, and they really make you feel special, like whether you think you're special of yourself or not. It's hard to not feel special the way that they treat you at these things.
I totally agree. I do feel like it's a special interaction.
Yeah.
It's a special, it's not just that I definitely don't feel like that we're giving something to the fans. I feel like it's a complete even exchange of energy. I feel just as I don't know. I feel like they give something to me that that I'm grateful for.
That's how I feel.
And the experience of being in these small towns, I love it.
And by the way, about your career and how these things have led to so much other work for you, and you stay really busy. Yeah, I looking through your IMDb, you have had appearances on so many popular, cool shows, which is really great. Bones, 2.5 Men. I could go through them, but yeah, really great shows with large fan bases and all that. It's pretty cool. And there's no rest for the wicked here. You're a few weeks off of having your first child, and you're already back on a set, right?
I did. I just wrapped a movie. Last night. I just wrapped a movie. I started the movie 5 weeks postpartum.
Wow.
And when the director called me, I think it had been 2 weeks. I'd had the baby just 2 weeks prior.
Yeah.
And I was a mess. I ended up having to have an emergency C-section. I just posted my whole birth story on my Instagram if anybody wants to read it. So I ended up having to have this crazy emergency C-section. So I was healing, recovering from the surgery and trying to figure out how to breastfeed and exhausted and all these things, and he called me and was like, "Hey, you want to do a movie?" And I was like, "Yes," but like I don't even know like how I would ever make it to set, and like what I can't leave my baby. And he's like, "No, you can bring the baby. You can bring the baby to set.
Oh wow, that's
You bring the baby. You can nurse when you
accommodating.
want to." Oh my God, he was amazing.
Yeah.
Director Michael Pfeiffer. He's done a ton of films, and so I did. I brought the baby to set, and Mike either came with me or my mom, and I was like nursing and pumping in between scenes. And
You're a trooper.
It was an adventure,
Yeah.
definitely. And there was a couple of days that I was doing scenes on no sleep and like 45 minutes of sleep.
Yeah. Yeah. I
So that
bet.
was interesting.
Yeah.
But like I'm, but it's my, being on set and making movies is my happy place. So I'm grateful that
And this was a project called The New Girl. Is that what it's called?
The New Girl.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a fun. It's going to be a TV movie, so it'll probably be on Lifetime.
Cool.
Yeah, I
That's
play
awesome.
mom.
You play
So
a
it
mom.
was
Now you're
was,
gonna fit right into that role.
Yeah.
Playing
I
a mom
know,
is
yeah.
gonna come
Well, I
more and
also
more
think-
naturally.
Look, I just had a baby.
Did it feel any
2 weeks
different
ago.
playing a mom now from before you were a mom?
Interesting because I thought it would.
Yeah.
Not like in character, I didn't feel different, but in life, I felt different. Like it's interesting. Like being, when you're on the set, usually like it has my full 100% attention. Like my job that's really all.
I completely attribute
Yeah.
my career now to my daughter because it was pretty stagnant, independent horror stuff. Had my daughter, Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was just
Babies are lucky.
yeah,
yeah,
they are.
done.
Well,
Thank you.
and then I felt like being on set, and then it was like I was really like, present for the scenes, like excited to do the work. But then immediately after, my thought is immediately, okay, I have to take care of my baby. Like
Yeah.
I just had my baby, so like I don't really, my body doesn't want to be away from him.
Yeah,
So that was
of course.
like as soon as like cut happened, I needed to like run back to my baby.
Yeah. Oh, I can imagine.
So,
I can imagine.
it wasn't like hanging out at the craft service and like chatting and I wasn't doing any of those things that I used to do.
Yeah. Well, this is definitely a new level of love in your life that
I
you
was just like that up until she turned 3, and now I'm like, go play in traffic.
yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how much longer it'll be. One of these days I'll be ready for a child.
Why'd you say that?
gotta,
Well,
You said that lovingly at me.
I'm not, was I batting my eyelashes at you at the time?
I was like, all right.
I don't
cool,
think you
babe.
could get
I
me
guess we're doing
pregnant,
this
Joe.
now.
So
yeah,
Cerina,
you gotta do it.
Cerina,
You gotta be, especially as kind and loving and compassionate and like engaged as a human you are.
Agreed.
You have to experience
thanks.
that kind of love.
I think you'd be a good
Well,
man.
I'm almost 42, so I got to get it going. I know men have a little more time, and
Yeah.
luckily
You got
my
more
girlfriend's significantly younger, but
Oh,
I got to get
Yeah.
it going pretty
Yeah.
soon though.
Just
I-
knock
yeah.
out a bunch of babies.
I
Yeah.
highly
I was
recommend it.
40 when it happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do think men should kind of maybe be in their 40s. I think that's a good time
I
for
wish I'd done it
a
younger,
man to
man,
have a child.
because now all I'm doing is calculating time
Yeah.
versus when she graduates.
You're going to be that old. Yeah, but
You
when
know.
you're 20, when she's 20, you'll be 60, and 60's
Yeah.
not that old anymore.
Yeah, but if you have a son, like you're gonna
60
be what, like,
doesn't feel near.
you're gonna be like
True.
almost
60
60
doesn't
years
feel-
old throwing a baseball in the
Yeah.
backyard. The hell are you doing then?
When I was in my 20s, 60 sounded old. 60s does not sound very old to me anymore.
No, because you're 40.
Yeah, I know. It really does not feel
30's
old.
the new 30.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll-
I
30,
agree with
38
that.
in a
I
month.
don't,
yeah.
because I don't feel my age by any means.
Yeah.
I
That's
tell
such a
someone I'm
relative
43
concept.
and they're just like, I thought you were 32.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, whatever.
And
that
you're
means.
40, Serena? You don't look 40 at all.
No.
I just turned 40 February 7th, 3
Oh.
days after my baby was born. Yeah.
Happy
Yeah.
birthday.
I don't really remember it because it was 3 days after I had,
Yeah, because
Yeah.
you were
my baby.
in like a coma.
So-
yeah.
but I did actually turn 40.
Yeah. Well,
So I didn't really celebrate it. Like I thought,
yeah, I don't know
You
how
think, like-
much I'm going to
for
feel
my
like
best
celebrating.
friend's 40th, we went went to New Orleans for her 40th.
Oh,
for
that's
my
fun.
40th, I was just like breastfeeding, but that's totally fine.
Yeah.
You know, because it was like the greatest gift of all.
Yeah. I've
baby.
still never been to New Orleans. One of these days.
Me neither.
Oh my God!
I know,
man.
I know. That's
There's
what
a
everyone
convention
says.
there. Get on the convention there.
Yeah, there's no
That
conventions. That's a problem. There hasn't been a convention
No,
there.
there
Got some dope ass
Yeah,
po
it is.
boys over there.
There is?
Mad Monster. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
what's it called?
Mike has a contact. We'll talk later.
Oh,
I'll
okay.
text it to
All
you.
right. We have to.
Yeah.
Is that what?
Yeah.
You went there for vacation though. But yeah, I do. I gotta go. I want to go. I'm gonna.
Oh my God.
So, do you have any conventions lined up for the rest of the year?
So I'm doing my very first show this year is Texas Nightmare, which I haven't been to since I guess it was there in 2006.
Which show?
So Texas Nightmare.
Oh yeah, that's the best show in the country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So Texas Nightmare in 2000. I was there in 2006. I'm going back there in
Yeah.
May, and then in July I'm going to be in Knoxville.
Right.
August
Okay.
I'll be in Chicago.
For what,
and,
Days of the Dead?
No, for
Oh, Flashback Weekend.
yeah.
Yeah.
Flashback.
Cool. I did that last year.
And-
It was fun.
Me too. I saw you. That's where I saw you.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So go back there, and
Yeah.
then oh.
What about
Well, there we go. That's-
Scarefest? Have you done that one in a while in
No, where's
Kentucky?
that?
No.
I don't think I ever have. When is that?
It's in September in Kentucky called Scarefest in I think Lexington, Kentucky. Yeah, this is a light year for me. Last year, 2018 was one of my best convention years ever, and this year it's like I'm on an off year for most of them. Like I was there last year, so I got to wait a year to go back. I think 2020 will be big, but this year is kind of light. I'm doing different types of shows. We'll see. I'll do some
Well,
haunted houses, maybe.
Yeah, and you're doing you're doing your podcast, which is awesome.
Yeah, that's fun. I think
yeah.
I'm doing Scarefest in September. I'm gonna go to this show in Calgary, which I don't know.
Fun.
Did you ever do the Calgary show?
I've never been to Calgary, but I wanted to go.
Yeah, it's fun. They take
Yeah.
you up this mountain to a place called Banff, and it's the most epic, gorgeous, scenic view
Wow.
ever. And you go up
Wow.
a mountain to this crazy lookout. The pictures I have from up there are just unbelievable. So that's a good
Is it a
show. I'm going to
horror
go
show?
back and do that in June. Yeah, it's Calgary Horror Con. I'll talk to the guy about you actually because
All right,
you would
I'd
you would
that.
love it
what
there.
What month is that?
It's in
What
June.
month?
It's in June,
Oh, okay.
which is a good
Let's
time
go.
because there's not
Have
that
you-
many
have you done
conventions in
Space
June.
Con?
No.
That's in Fort Myers.
See, Serena, you could do a lot of those pop culture shows also because of,
Well, I do a
all
lot
the
of
pop
I do
culture
a lot
stuff.
of the shows from Power Rangers and things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
Hold on one second. I'm going to attach my baby to my breast.
You are? Okay, go for it. I'll
Do
hold,
that mom thing real
I'll
quick.
hold for that.
Hey, baby.
Oh, okay, we get to hear it too.
The
Sweet.
baby's so cute too. Go if you're on Serena's Instagram, you go see great pictures of the baby
I have
and
an
of her
interesting
of her
question.
breastfeeding. In fact, you've been posting a lot of breastfeeding photos.
I have a question. I
Well,
suppose,
you know,
not
I
necessarily
didn't
interesting.
realize that could bother some people.
Oh, I don't think that should bother anybody in the world. I think
No,
that's
I agree.
awesome.
But it does. Can you hear me okay? 'Cause
Yeah,
I'm on
I hear you.
Is that okay?
I hear you.
Okay.
Yep.
I didn't realize it was going to bother some people, but it did, which
Yeah.
was shocking to
Well,
me.
people
Oh,
want to
no.
be bothered by
Yeah,
something.
people get bothered by all
Everything.
kinds of
People
stupid
just
shit.
like to argue. They just like to show the social media world that they have an opinion.
Mikey, what was your
Yeah,
question?
it's stupid.
I wanted
But
to
I like
know.
no, you guys. I lost followers.
You
I
did?
lost 3,000 followers.
You lost 3,000 followers?
Why?
Yeah,
Damn.
That's a lot because of the breastfeeding photos. People were
I don't
offended
know,
by them.
but
That's
I
ridiculous.
I have a baby posted breastfeeding photos,
all right.
and I lost 3,000 followers.
Yeah,
Maybe-
well,
so
Good
I
riddance.
don't know what that means.
Good riddance. People have that very odd assumption that because you're a celebrity or because you're famous, you live your life for them, and that they have harsh opinions about something that you do that they don't like. And instead of them just accepting the fact that you're a human being who can make your own decisions, people want to think that you kind of owe it to them to do things the way they would like.
Oh,
yeah.
but
People
totally.
suck and they have
It's
weird
so
shit to
weird.
say.
People
but-
suck.
I mean,
it.
I don't care.
Yeah.
But it was interesting to just observe.
Yeah,
the
for
drop.
sure.
I was
That
like,
is.
Oh, okay.
That is. I'm not that surprised, unfortunately. Yeah.
So, Cerina, I have a question for you.
All right. This is Mikey
Yeah.
Wells, my other
What's
buddy.
one of your like weirdest experiences at a convention that you can share with us?
Wait. Speak a little louder.
What's
Say
your
that again.
What's one of your weirdest experiences at a convention that you can share with us? Can you think of anything off the top of your head that was just bizarre?
Bizarre, hilarious, some sort of personal anecdote.
Oh, I mean, oh God, there's so many. I feel like something weird happens at every show.
Yeah, it's true.
But
Awesome,
let me
that's
pick
what we wanna hear.
something that
Yeah, that's a tough question.
one
People
time
people
I got-
ask me that a
one
lot,
time I
and
had
it's
a
so many
broken
memories.
foot.
Okay, what's a
Wait,
weird
what was
story?
that? What was that?
I had a broken foot once at a show, at a really weird show in Virginia Beach. Have you done that? Blood on the Beach?
I know of it. I feel like I must have done
Anyway,
it once.
the guy
I
never
think
paid me out my
I think I did it
guarantee,
once.
so
Yeah.
the guy never paid out my guarantee, so that was.
Oh,
was
okay.
lame.
Oh, maybe that's what happened, and I didn't do it. I don't remember. But yeah, go ahead. You had a broken foot.
I had a broken foot, and there was a fan a girl, a young girl, like 17, 18, maybe, I don't know,
Yeah.
who was interested in me.
Oh, really?
And I like.
She
And,
made a pass.
you
She
know,
made a
maybe-
move.
I had a little bit too much to drink, and was following me around, and I literally couldn't like escape because
Couldn't shake her?
I had a broken foot,
She was using that to her advantage to keep cornering you.
so I was trapped. Yeah, that's one story.
Well,
I mean, mostly like
you have the
what
guys.
I find interesting
Yeah.
is watching all the. I mean, there's a lot of crazy stuff that goes on at these cons.
Yeah.
I'm not going to out anybody, but
Oh, there is. Are there, even amongst the celebrities alone, they all have some
that's what I'm
this
talking
drama.
about.
Yeah.
So I've watched some like.
There are some repeat
pretty shitty
offenders.
things.
Let's just say.
I mean, I was
Yeah,
kind
I've
of hoping
watched
you'd
some
out someone.
Yeah.
I didn't hear what you said.
Now, what were you saying? You've watched some pretty crazy things go down.
Yeah, I've watched some pretty shitty things, like some,
Yeah.
actors do some shitty things
Yeah.
to
Me too.
fans
Oh, man.
and break hearts and
Oh yeah.
things like that.
Yeah. Me too.
so-
There's a couple people on the list of
Yeah,
repeat
there's a couple on my
offenders that
shit list.
when you see them
Yeah.
on the website, you're like, oh shit, this is gonna.
Yeah.
This is going to
It's
be
gonna be
trouble.
awesome.
Yeah. This is either going to be
you-
awesome or this is going to be trouble.
Can you
Yeah.
give me names later,
Yeah.
Alex? I
Yeah,
just want to know.
I'll give you names later. Yeah.
Yeah, and we won't out anybody because there are fake fans at shows, right? But
They're
Yeah.
probably listening,
Yeah.
so we can't do it.
Yeah, right?
but that
They're going to be on my
That,
show next week.
yeah, exactly. You gotta but, that's always interesting.
No, yeah, you've always been one of the sweetest people at these shows, though, and you're really kind to your fans and appreciative. I mean, everybody that I've had on, I've said that about, and maybe that's because I'm closest friends with the nicest people on the circuit. But you're really considerate to your fans and appreciative, and give them the time of day,
Wow.
even if there are just creepy guys that are looking at your most scantily clad photos for an inappropriately long period of
Thank
time.
you.
And put their hands a
Right.
little inappropriately low on your waist for the photo.
Or high up, or do
Or-
the high,
yeah.
the high up around the
lot
boob
of
photo.
side boob photo
Yeah.
groping
I get that
happening.
every photo.
Yeah. Yeah.
They just reach around. And
I
grab
see
my
that
boob.
when I'm next to someone like you at a convention and I spend 3 days watching the interactions with people. I know that some of the women actresses at these shows really have a difficult time.
But
I mean,
some-
you're a champ and you're supportive and you're nice and you have a smile the whole time. But yeah, some guys do get a little inappropriate and uncomfortable and
some though, I've
overstay
watched some of
their
the
welcome.
actresses crave it.
yeah,
They
maybe
get a little too close to the fan. You know what I mean? Putting their leg
some
up
of them.
around them and-
Yeah. Some of them are like
It's
that.
like,
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Here you go.
Yeah. Serena's not though. Serena's
No,
very.
well, I'm just saying, like I've seen it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
You can't. You've got to. I feel like you have to be. I try to be classy about everything.
Agreed.
Yeah.
You know, I
You
feel
are.
like if
You
give-
succeed at it.
I'm
You succeed
always
at that.
like, if I give a little too much, then like it totally backfires in like a major way.
Yeah.
You get
So
cornered-
I've
you get
learned my
cornered
boundaries.
with a
You know,
broken foot.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've had to learn boundaries in that situation. You know what? I have an interesting story for a con. You want to
Okay,
hear it? We
yeah.
go back to that question.
Sure.
Yeah,
I'd
yeah.
love to.
Well, that's where I met the father of my baby.
Oh, there you go. How'd that happen?
Mike and I met at a convention
His
in
name's Mike.
Gettysburg.
Yeah. My girlfriend and I
Yeah.
met at a convention, so that's a good start, I guess, to the story.
There we go.
But-
Yeah,
So how? What was his? What was he doing there? Was he an attendee, or was
he
he?
was there with Bruce Campball, and
Okay.
and I was just there.
Now, what
And
does Mike do for a living?
He's a stunt guy.
That's what
and
I
he
thought.
Also
Yeah, that's what I thought.
He also has worked for Bruce for like 10 years.
Oh, okay.
And he reps him for shows.
So he was with
He
Bruce.
reps him-
He was with Bruce
Yeah.
in like an assistant repping capacity.
Yes.
Okay,
exactly.
gotcha.
More like
So,
yeah.
And were you placed?
And
Were you
Bruce-
placed next to Bruce for the weekend? Were you guys close
no,
neighbors?
but
Or
Bruce does dinners. Like, he takes a group of people out to dinner every show because he's kind and generous.
oh, okay.
And Mike invited me. I didn't know him or know them, but
Yeah.
invited me to one of their dinners, and I declined the
Oh,
offer.
cool.
And I didn't go, but yes, but then like we were just there all weekend together. Like Bruce, like was hosting a costume contest that I was judging. He was hosting with Dee Wallace, and so Mike and I were sort of like close next to each other. And
Oh,
anyway, so we met there, and then it was like a long story of
Islands
a
in the
long,
stream
very
started playing.
interesting, romantic story of like 8 or so years of our journey here.
yeah. That's awesome.
That's pretty fascinating.
Yeah.
So there was no kiss that first meeting weekend at the convention.
There was no what?
Your first kiss didn't happen that weekend, I assume.
Well, I can't again, right? I got to be classy, so I'm not going to.
Classy lady. She's not going to tell
Because I don't see
lurid
that. I don't see it
stories.
happening that way. You know.
You don't see it happening that way.
No, I would think that it would
I'll
take.
tell you all the dirty details in the after.
Okay.
Oh
all right.
my.
The next
Which
next
blog-
convention
which
we
blog
do, you
about.
could get into it. Yeah. No, he's a good dude though, and I was happy for you the first time I met him. Even not that my
Thank you.
opinion carries much weight, but I was
Nobody
happy for you.
cares.
Yeah.
It does. It
I
does.
was.
I adore you, Alex. You're a good man. And,
Well, thanks,
and,
Cerina.
So we've had a lot of fun
We have.
with our paths crossing over the years.
We have.
These
Well,
shows.
hopefully, we get to do some more shows together again soon.
Yes. So I want to send you the info for New Orleans.
Okay, and I'm going to send you the info for Calgary.
Yeah,
So there you
someone dropped
go.
a line on here
Done.
that said
I
Big
love
Easy
it.
Con.
I love it.
Huh?
Someone dropped a line on
Oh,
Spreaker.
Big Easy Con?
Big Easy Con.
Yeah. Is that the one you're talking about from New Orleans? Big Easy Con?
Wait, no. What's
She's asking Mike.
Oh shit.
Mad
that's-
Monster in New Orleans?
Oh,
Mad
okay.
Monster? Yeah,
Mad
that's on
Monster's
here, too.
doing a New Orleans now.
Mad
Okay.
Monster
All right.
and-
Yeah, we'll talk about that for
The
sure.
Big Easy Con.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
a couple, I guess.
Okay, Cerina. So just to wrap up our chat, I want to play a little game with you that I've done with almost everybody who's been on, and it's just 10 rapid fire "Have you ever" questions. They're fun and they're easy. Just a yes or no is fine. A yes or no is fine unless you want to elaborate. But
Okay.
okay, have you ever played strip poker?
No.
Have you ever spent a night in jail?
No.
Have you ever gotten injured while filming a movie?
Yes.
A TV show? Yeah. Have
Yeah.
you ever been in a physical fight?
No, but some girl wanted to fight me in 6th grade, and so
And
I
you
said,
still remember
"Fine,
it.
let's
Yeah.
let's go." And
Yeah.
so we met behind the portables, and the whole school circled around. And
Wow.
I waited for her. If you threw the first punch, you get expelled
Yeah.
from school. So I was waiting for her to hit me, and then I would hit her back, but she never hit me.
Oh,
And
it was just a
she just
stare
ran
off.
away and cried.
Yeah.
So I won the fight, and I
Oh.
didn't even have to hit.
Well, you didn't
Yeah.
back down, so that's got to count for
No, I
something,
didn't back
right?
down. Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Have you ever peed your pants as an adult?
Laughing, yeah,
Laughing. Oh, that's good. Have you ever
and
met
pregnant.
and pregnant? Yeah, I could assume that maybe
Yeah.
that's yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever met an idol of yours?
Oh, all the time.
Oh, awesome. Isn't that a
Yeah, I mean, in our world,
Yeah.
all the time.
I know that's
Wait,
a fortunate
I will say,
side effect of
I'll go ahead and tell
this
you
business.
what idol. I'm going to elaborate on this question.
Yeah.
Marianne Williamson. Do you know her? She's running for president.
Who?
She's written Marianne Williamson.
No, I don't.
Okay, well, she's written a ton of New York Times bestsellers. She's like the most incredible, extraordinary, I don't know, spiritual advisor
Yeah.
on the planet. And she changed my life. And I've met her in person a couple of times. And now she's running for president.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I've gotten to meet a couple idols of mine in life, and it's a really satisfying thing, especially if you really get a good chance to speak your mind and say some things to them. You know.
Exactly. Yeah.
Have you ever had an unhealthy obsession over someone?
An unhealthy obsession over someone?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Have you ever had a stalker?
Yes, a couple of them.
I assumed maybe that was the case.
Recently.
Mm-hmm.
Two more. Have you ever blacked out from alcohol?
Yep.
Like where you actually
That's a yes.
absolutely have no memory of the night before.
Well, wait, what was that question? Or what?
Have you ever blacked out from alcohol, like a full blown blackout?
You know, I never did until it was maybe a couple of years ago, and
Yeah.
it was like random.
Yeah,
It was random. I was like, wait, I don't understand.
yeah. It's so
I
weird when it
understand.
happens. It's
So-
only happened to me a couple times. It's so strange.
Yeah, but I didn't even drink that much. It was very strange.
Yeah.
So,
Uh-oh.
It's very strange.
That might be something else.
It could have been.
Yeah.
It could have been. I don't know.
Was
Have you-
Harvey Weinstein around?
Oh,
Oh my
jeez.
god.
And last question: have you ever lost your temper on set?
Have I ever lost my temper on set?
Yeah, like have you ever had a total breakdown, anger, flip out
No.
on set? No,
No.
no.
No,
That's
I've
good.
never lost my shit on set. I
You're
can-
pretty
I can
mild
go
mannered,
down
so I wouldn't see
saying
that. Yeah.
I wanted to, but I kept it together.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
good.
I kept
could
it
see
together
that.
and then lost it in my car,
Yeah,
going
sure.
home or whatever.
Yeah.
I've had I have some stories, but I've kept it together.
Yeah. Well, good. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on. We have a musical act tonight that I have to get to, so they're in the
Okay,
other room
cool.
warming up. But thank you so much for coming on and chatting, and I hope I see you soon.
You're
I hope
She's got
it's
some
a show
fans
you get
on
to
here.
bring the baby to or something, because I can't wait to meet him.
You have a lot of fans
Yeah, I'm bringing
texting in.
it to all the conventions, so we'll let these kind of listen.
Yeah.
All right. I love you. This is great. This is fun. Thank you.
Awesome. Love you too, Cerina.
Thank you so much.
All right.
All right,
Thanks.
cool.
All
Talk
right,
to you
bye.
soon. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
All right, awesome. I'm very glad that she got to call, and we had her on. That would have been disappointing if we missed it. So
Yeah,
I'm glad
awesome.
she did. I was going to play an intro for her, so I'm just going to play this audio sample now.
I'm so happy to be in America.
Well, you certainly have a sunny disposition. So, you've got your class schedule, right?
I don't need the class schedule. I only come to this school to be object of lust for poor nerds who cannot get American pussy.
Well, isn't that wonderful?
I love that.
You want to be a star, don't you? Here you go.
All right, we're going to take a short break, and then we're going to be back with this Christian metal band, Plate, that is in the studio tonight. Looking forward to chatting with them. This is another track from a band that we recorded an EP at the studio a couple months back. They're called the Jolly Fuckers, and this. So let me
love
turn
these
that
guys.
off. And this song is called Amaze Balls.
Hey everybody, it's Christine Elise, and you are listening to Alex Vincent and the Final Note.
All right, and we're back. That was the Jolly Fuckers with Amaze Balls. All right, so we're hanging out in the studio now. We got my buddy here who we worked on a couple tracks together back. Oh, now it's been like, I don't know, 2 years ago or something. 2 years. But your band, Plate, right?
Yes.
Yep. Plate.
Yeah.
This has been a project that has been together for a while, right?
Yeah. I started it back in 2013.
Okay, cool.
Started playing out 2014.
Awesome. You get played a lot of shows. I know you're keeping Garen busy with playing bass for you at these shows, which is pretty fun.
Really well.
How's he been doing for you on bass?
He has been doing very well, and he's there. And
Good.
He's on time, and we're rocking it, man.
Yeah, awesome.
Rock on.
Hold on, let me hit that, and okay, now we'll hear everybody better.
But yeah, it's Plate. It stands for Plenty, Loud, and Technically Eclectic.
Awesome. That's awesome. You know, I worked with you for months. I didn't even know that. That's awesome. That's cool.
That?
And I know spirituality is a big part of this, right? Would you consider yourselves a Christian metal band? Is that accurate?
You could say that. Heavy rock metal.
Yeah.
But I started.
Definitely Christian.
Oh, it's all about God. It's written with God as the. It's actually part of my what they call a God thing, because I've been a musician in Florida since '94.
Oh, okay.
As a recording artist.
Yeah, sure.
And I've been off on several CD projects and several bands, and but I was doing things my way or the highway.
Yeah.
And it ended up getting me in big trouble, man. Got me in big trouble.
Yeah.
Drugs, alcohol,
Sure.
women, and all that.
Yeah.
Money, everything.
Yeah.
And so when I finally gave up and I hit bottom, and that's when I went to the Salvation Army in Orlando, and they had a rehab with Celebrate Recovery, and then I got back clean with God's help.
Yeah.
So here I was focusing more on God as a God thing.
Yeah.
For Plate.
Yeah.
So,
I got to say, the Salvation Army down here in Florida, they really do a great job for people. I mean, they work really hard. They work really hard for people. I had a good buddy of mine down here. I mean, they really saved his life.
Yeah. They saved my life.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it gave me a place to regroup. You
Yeah.
know what
I mean, they give people a place to live.
Yes.
And
Work.
a community of people that are striving for the same things. And encouragement, and they really do amazing things down here. Well, it's good that you're using music to help share, the strengths of your own life and how your ability to overcome with others. I got to imagine that's very inspiring.
Yes.
Especially in the hard rock / metal scene.
Right.
There's a lot of people that need help and need someone to kind of guide them.
There you go.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
So, the songs are based pretty much on Bible things in the Bible.
Yeah.
But not only that, they're based on a little prophetic.
Yeah.
About what's going on today.
Yeah.
Like you played Levy.
Yeah.
That was actually about the flooding that was going to happen. That was written back in 2015.
Yeah.
And now the world is flooding.
It really is.
Everywhere.
I know.
So, there's certain parts to this project that are prophetic too. So.
Yeah. This track that you're going to play tonight, what's that song?
Well, that's called Wheels of Freedom, and it's about freedom from having a spirit of bondage with alcohol, with drugs, and all that.
Yeah.
Being free of that, and being able to inspire others to and appreciate the freedom we have here. Because I lived in Africa for many years, 6 years, and the freedom we have here is a whole lot different than
not to be taken for granted.
It's not to be taken for granted.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's Wheels of Freedom is just cruising, having fun, enjoying life, and
awesome.
I've been driving a lot lately,
Yeah.
I hadn't driven for 7 years when I got to the bottom. It took me a long time to get my license back.
Yeah, and this state is the worst at it too. The state doesn't help.
I
The Florida
know.
legal system moves slow and
they
complicated.
do, yeah.
They don't make things easy.
That
And you guys have been playing out pretty regularly. Do you have a club that is a regular club for you now that you keep going back to? I know you guys keep playing in Orlando.
Yeah, downtown Orlando, our show in Orlando, it's called Orlando Brewing Company.
Yeah, I know of it. Sure.
Yeah, it's popular.
Yeah,
and
it's
they've
a
been around for
good
a long
venue.
time.
Yeah.
And they have an outside stage that's covered.
Yep.
And provide the sound. So all
Yeah.
we gotta do is show up with our equipment, and
Nice.
I book other bands to play with us.
Yeah.
So I kind of do a double thing where Centropy Music is my organization. It's a nonprofit. Centropy Music.
Gotcha.
It's
Yeah,
kind
yeah.
of a strange name.
No, yeah.
But
okay.
there's conspiracies are
Yeah.
on that whole deal too.
Yeah, conspiracy theories is the topic. We were going to talk about it tonight. We usually get to it earlier in the show, but we'll hang out a bit tonight to talk about it. But yeah, I mean, it's fascinating. We were saying earlier, especially with the advent of YouTube, the rabbit hole for conspiracy theory information is endless.
Sure.
You could just spend a lifetime and not even see a percentage of the info that's out there.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do YouTube a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a YouTube channel.
Yeah, sure.
Centropy Music. CENTROPYMUSIC. That's
Definitely
my
go
channel.
check it out, guys.
Check it out.
Go check
You'll
out
see,
and
You'll
subscribe.
see us live
Yeah.
and playing out.
Yeah.
And how long we've been doing this. I got like 300 videos on there.
Awesome. 300? Wow, you got a good page going.
Well,
that's great.
One thing about these songs that you're hearing tonight, Levy and Creates On and the Wheels of Freedom, well, not Wheels of Freedom, but Levy and Creates On, I have videos for them. They're instrumentals,
Yeah.
but they have a video that shows you what they're about.
Awesome.
So they go there, or they go to my website, centropymusic.org or .net,
Yeah.
and you can see these videos. And they will explain. Then you go, oh, that's what it's about.
Awesome. Well, we're actually going to be playing Creazon here in a few minutes. So if you want to go to their YouTube page and pull that up, that could help you. You can mute the YouTube and watch the video as I play the song here in a few minutes. And the band's is Plate. Look it up. The track is called Creazon, which is CREATZON.
It went a little bit of different twist, but it is about creation. It's about from the beginning when God created the earth and the universe and the light and everything and put it together. Then he created the earth and then the animals before us.
Yeah.
And they were making music before we were even created.
Yeah.
They were using the music system before we were around. So here we come along, and then, of course, we're given a choice to either do good or bad, and we choose to do bad. And it affected everything from then on. So that's how the song, when it goes down, out, it crashes.
Yeah, yeah.
That's when sin's just hitting the world everywhere, and animals start eating each other, and weeds are growing.
Yeah.
Man's trying to kill himself because he hates it.
Yeah. Oh, you were a pleasure to work with and record because you're so passionate about your music and it excites you.
Yeah.
And there's nothing better as an engineer than playing something back and seeing you really rocking in your chair and excited and happy about what we're doing for you to bring your music to life.
Oh, you did,
yeah.
Good job.
Well,
here,
thank
man.
you,
I
man.
really
Definitely enjoyed working with you.
Yeah.
So for conspiracy theories, what have stood out to you as the most compelling and the most interesting? Like, what's one that you've gone the furthest down the rabbit hole exploring?
UFOs.
Sure.
Unidentified flying objects and all the evidence we have. I think there was an author that wrote a book. Oh, man, I can't remember. It's some foreign guy, but he started questioning things when he go to historic areas and start saying, "What's up with this? This was pre-flood." And there's no way man could have made that with the technology they had.
Yeah.
So
are you talking about Chariots of God?
Huh?
The Chariots of God?
Chariots of God. That's it, yeah. And, it was like it opened up a hole there where it's like, man, we got to think about this. where is this at in history and what's going on? Because, I mean, there's just so many interesting things about that. But the main thing I want to say is, in the Bible, it says there's only one God, and all the other are false gods.
Right.
So it's totally understandable to think that all these gods that came down to earth and started interfering with humankind were fallen angels, and they were just fooling man by coming out of the skies. They would call them gods. Wouldn't you call them a god?
Right.
I mean, if you saw somebody coming from the sky like that, you'd be like, that's a god.
Yeah,
You
or
know?
an alien, I guess. Which
Or an alien. We didn't probably have that word. back
No,
then.
they didn't back then. A paratrooper.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
A Star Trooper.
Yeah, there you go.
May the force be with you. I mean,
Yeah.
the force. But I do believe in the force. And
Yeah.
actually, one of our songs, Soul Night, was released the same night. It was released on the internet the same night that Force Awakens Star Wars movie opened.
Oh, okay.
The same day.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was Force Awakens, and this was about the Spirit Awakens.
Yeah.
Because we can all let the Spirit of God influence our lives if we break the levy of sin and let Him in. Sin just kind of keeps us focused on everything else but the center.
Right.
That's what the center is so important. Every song has a center note.
Yeah.
That's you pick that note, they call it a key.
Yeah. That's a good point. That's true.
It sets us free.
Yeah. And that's just another example of the universe tying together every element of it.
Yeah.
Music being one that was just an inevitability. It's like you
Inevitable.
said, the animals were doing it before. Did you ever hear that video of crickets? The sound that they make if you lower the speed down to super slow. A bunch of crickets. It sounds like a harmony.
I missed that one.
It's pretty amazing because it sounds like a choir. They're all singing. It's not just cricket noise. They're actually singing complex chords. It's really amazing. It's really amazing.
There
It's
you go.
hard to even fathom. And I don't know who. Maybe it's all bullshit, but if it's real, it's pretty fucking phenomenal.
Might be another conspiracy theory.
It is. Well, this is worth checking out. But if you according
Alex
to
bought
these
it right away,
videos,
though.
according to these videos, if you slow down to whatever slower than half speed, slower than 10 times speed, whatever, just real incredibly slow, it sounds completely different, and it's these long, complex.
This one's played Moonlight Sonata.
Vocal choir.
Damn.
It's very interesting.
Well,
Your last movie.
If you slow it down and give it 6/8 timing, look, crickets play the Moonlight Sonata.
You play it backwards.
Oh, you gotta play backwards too.
Yeah.
I want to hear some of that.
This one is playing. What was it? Hit Me Baby
Boy,
One More
that
Time.
really
Depends
It's
where the
crazy.
crickets are from.
That really opened up a door in high school because we had this guy come to our school and he started talking about how you could play records backwards and satanic messages and stuff.
Yeah, what is it?
like,
Paul
whoa.
is dead, or
Paul is dead with one.
Yeah.
Or Satan's surface and
Yeah.
all that stuff.
If you listen to a mosquito while it's in your ear and you slow that down in timing, it's playing Lady Gaga.
Really. That's...
Just gotta slow it down to the right tempo.
That's funny, man.
It's
Well,
magical.
Smack them.
Well, we're gonna get you in the live room. You got here 3 minutes before the show started, so I was shouting at you to just make some noise into that guitar
Coming in
and
from
microphone
Orlando,
for me.
man.
I know. I appreciate you coming out.
was
You did
a
make it
journey.
just in
Isn't
time.
it
We did it.
something?
It's
That's
not
God.
it
That's
worked
God, bro.
perfect. It really did. So if it sounds like shit, forgive me because I had no time to dial them in. But I think we're gonna get lucky and it's gonna sound real good. You guys make awesome music, so I hope people get to
Our
hear
next
it.
show is going to be in Lakeland. That's where I
Okay,
started.
awesome. In Lakeland, when's that?
Full circle. I'm ending up where I started my music career in Lakeland. We're playing at Johnny G's. It's this Saturday.
Oh, okay.
Doors open at 7. Johnny G's in Lakeland.
Fantastic.
Yeah, that'll be an awesome show.
Oh, I'm glad you're helping Garen out. He giving him a job. That's pretty good.
No, and it's part of his passion. I
Yeah,
can tell
he's
that.
slapping some bass for you.
I know, man. And he moves. You see how he moves around? They got to check out the videos because this guy's moving around all over the world.
Yeah, okay, I gotta see him.
He
He loves his metal. I know that. So
Yeah, we're gonna write some heavier stuff too, and we're gonna get into some heavier stuff. You know,
So the easiest way is
you know,
wear
you
shades,
think
so
like
I
with
can
the
see them looking at me and just walk around.
Oh, you're Mr. Cool Guy on stage, huh?
Yeah.
No
Wear
matter
these
how
sunglasses.
Well, he's under the impression that if he can't see them, we can't see
Yeah.
them. My 3-year-old thinks that.
The
All right.
funny thing is, he's always the one running around practicing his bass beforehand while we're running around setting up our equipment.
Yeah, no, he's walking around trying to remember his notes.
You're the bass player, bro. You're supposed to be like loading water onto stage or something.
Really?
No, he takes it real
Also
serious.
equals crew.
No,
Yeah.
he's running around thumping that bass.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, man.
All right, so
Should
we're
you
gonna
be, like ironing the rest of the band's like clothes or something when they're going on
that's
stage.
usually how it goes.
yeah,
That's
anything to
usually
keep
how
you
it
busy,
goes.
Yeah.
keep you out of trouble by keeping you busy.
Why don't you make like a bass guitar and be inaudible?
Oh.
All right,
Now we,
All right.
of course, we have Noel Switzer. He's an awesome,
Awesome drummer, yeah.
He started metal in New Jersey.
What part of Jersey?
Bricktown?
Oh, okay, I'm from
Yeah.
North Jersey, Bergen
Okay.
County. Yeah.
There you go.
Yep.
And you know, he's played in original hard rock metal bands.
Say Totowa.
Yeah, right around there.
All right.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
he knows his deal.
Cool. Well, we're going to try to make a video of all of our live performances here. We've been videotaping and putting up on YouTube. So we're going to try to
that's cool.
video. Of course, Joe forgot his 2 cameras. So we're going to use my 1 camera. I
We
throw
have a
you right
camera.
under the bus.
We have a camera too.
Right.
for
All right.
our-
I didn't forget them.
So let's bust out. Oh, you didn't forget them. They weren't where they were supposed to be. That's true.
They were rented.
That's true. That's true. You're right. Yeah, well, if you want to break out your camera, we'll get someone to get some extra footage of that.
Sure.
We're going to play your track Creazon right now, and then we're going to send you in the live room for Wheels of Freedom.
Yes, sir.
Awesome. All right, this is Plate with Creazon.
Rock on.
Yeah. All right, that's Plate with Creazon, and they are in the live room right now. Let's check in on them and see if we could hear a whole bunch of noise in there. How you guys doing in there? Oh, you guys rock, man. I fucking sound awesome in here. I hope that sounded great for you guys. Yeah, awesome. Fucking cool, guys. Oh, they just rocked out that live room. Let me tell you. Thank you guys so much. All right. I got to take a short break so I could get our session back and change up, shift gears here a little bit. Yeah, that was awesome. Thank you guys so much for coming in. Plate, that was with Plate with Wheels of Freedom. And you could go check them out online. Plate. These guys rocked it. I'm going to take a short break here and play a track for you. This is you guys who have been sticking around since episode 2. Denny Dwyer, who is in here. We've been working on his record, 15 tracks for the last couple months at my studio at avproductionsonline.com in Clearwater, Florida. This is a track of his that is called Roll the Dice. It started as a simple acoustic track and just got built up, embellished further and further. We're really just about ready to master these songs. This is not mastered yet. This is still in the mixing process. But this is a song called Roll the Dice by Denny Dwyer.
It's just a roll of the dice, but back your urge to think twice. It's a good call, leap of faith, chance bound to change your whole life. Close your eyes, let them roll. It's a free fall for your soul. All on a roll of the dice. At the fork in the road, turn left, or is the better way right? Are you a smarter man to turn your cheek or to stand up and fight? There's a chance you'll look back with regret, 20/20 hindsight. Trust everyone's a flip side to thinking it's all a scam. You try to swing for the fences to hit the game-winning grand slam. Are you better off close to the vest? You might say, yes, I am. It's just a roll of the dice, but back your urge to think twice. It's a good call, leap of faith, chance bound to change your whole life. Close your eyes, let them roll. It's a free fall for your soul. All on a roll of the dice. It's a simple need to do the right thing, predicting what your future will bring, using your mind and your heart and the depths of your soul, taking steps one at a time. To hold back would be a crime. You can't just stand there rolling your eyes. Just shaking your head just wouldn't be wise. It's time to roll the dice. Say yes, say no. Should I stay? Should I go? Turn left or turn right? Choose day or choose night? Lend a hand or walk away. Make a difference your own way. It's all a roll of the dice. It's a roll of the dice. Fight back your urge to think twice. It's a good call, leap of faith, chance bound to change your whole life. Close your eyes, let them roll. It's a free fall for your soul.
Yeah, Roll the Dice. Very proud of that song and that record, which is going to be released pretty soon. We're going to master with it now, so that was a cool project to work on. Plate tore down the house here. That was fun.
That was amazing.
I hope you got some good video of that.
Oh,
We'll
dude, I can't
edit
wait
that
to
and post
see
that
it,
up.
man.
I've been a little behind on the video. Georgie Mason, who performed here a couple weeks ago, her video is now finished. I'm going to put that up on YouTube tonight, actually. We'll get that loading up.
I missed that show.
So you like the black and white one, huh?
Yeah, I thought that was really good.
All right, I'm going to put up a black and white version of
Georgie
her
was a
performance.
sweetheart. I like
she
that
was.
girl.
She was awesome, and she really did a great job. I was editing her performance today. It was cool to see how into it she was.
We're like best friends now.
Are you? Have you been chatting with her?
No, not at all.
Oh, okay. In
She
your head,
ignores
you're
me.
best friend.
I'm pretty sure she didn't add me on Facebook
No.
or Snapchat or...
Well, hey.
She was.
She was
I
sweet,
didn't meet
though.
her.
Let's see. I'm gonna
We
put
talking about
on
her or the other one?
this one.
I don't
No,
think
you met Tatiana.
Yeah, Tatiana.
Her video. I don't know if I'm gonna put up the video, but her performance I thought was awesome, which was on episode 9, just last week, right?
Yeah.
Was that last week?
Yeah, last week.
No, last week was Marky. 2 weeks ago.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. And then next week, I think Ed Gale's going to come on, which is pretty cool. So that'll be good. Be fun to chat with him. All right, can you guys sorry, I just hear everything coming through my headphones. All right, so anyways, let's keep talking about conspiracy theories because we got a little sidetracked and there's so much shit to cover.
Can I tell you a
so we're
story
not going to
real
get
quick?
too far, but yeah, tell me a
Okay,
story.
so like 2 years ago, me and my buddy Mark Tarrant out in New Mexico, we start working on a show about conspiracy theories. We call it Two Fat Guys Looking for a UFO. He's fat, I'm fat, right?
You're looking for a UFO, huh? Two fat guys looking for a UFO.
Two fat guys looking for a UFO. It's like American Pickers meets, Ancient Aliens, but we're idiots and... Anyways, so...
and gullible and all the things.
We get an investor, we get a producer. She wants to do the show. She's got a ton of equipment. She puts up the money for the show, flies me out to New Mexico. I'm out there for like 2 weeks. We shoot. We do the petroglyphs out in New Mexico. They're 4,000 years old, man. We walked right up to these things and took pictures.
The what?
Of the petroglyphs.
What are they? What's that?
They're engravings on. They're not even engravings. They're drawings on rocks. Way out in the middle of the New Mexico desert that was put there by the Pueblo Indians.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so like these petroglyphs are just, they depict all kinds of things. 4,000 years old. There's two things that stand out the most in these petroglyphs. One is a thing standing with a helmet on, clearly a helmet. The other is a flying machine. 4,000 years ago.
Wow.
So, and then we went to like the city of Ruiz, which was like the first church underground. It had a full church underground.
Yeah.
And it was said because that's where they went to worship the sky god that apparently came down.
Huh.
So, but yeah, and we interviewed, oh man, I can't remember his name. Nariago's, he's the foremost UFOologist.
Maybe they just had really good imaginations.
Maybe.
You know?
I don't, like what was it? It was very interesting. We went to Area 51, that kind of shit. We did all that stuff. The whole show was to cover all of those things. And then in the middle, we'd interview someone like the guy we interviewed. I can't remember his name. Brilliant. Worked at Area 51. He's got like 5 books on UFOs. He does a conference. Like, he's huge. We met with him at a barbecue place, and we had barbecue and talked about UFOs and shit. And then we also interviewed the people who owned the barbecue place and shot their grill and shit.
Oh, okay.
So it was like a cross between like a couple shows. But it was really, it never got picked up, but it was cool, man. We shot a pilot for it. It was fun. This is like
conspiracy theories are never going to lose an audience. People love them, and nowadays, I think with the trust eroding, such as it just is a more and more interesting and visited topic.
Sooner or later, they got to come out with it. The government's holding a lot of stuff back from the public.
Yeah. You got to think that shut that over. You got to think that it is just a matter of time until everything gets leaked. You can't keep secret for too long. So It's amazing that some things have stayed in the dark as long as they have. You know,
because I mean they have record of the Indians dealing with what we call Nephilim.
Yep, Nephilim and the Ant-Man. That was the Ant-Man, right? Yeah.
Dwelt with the Indians. They had red hair and they were white skinned.
Yeah.
That's just the Irish.
That was just some drunken Irish guy.
Yeah. He's all like, I've heard that from her. We're like, what is he saying?
Yeah, it's an alien language.
I've heard a person good. I'm like, what the fuck?
Or
Another pint, man.
Yeah, it's a giant leprechaun.
It's a giant leprechaun.
Yeah, they have short leprechauns. Why can't there be giant ones?
Yeah. Well,
look, I watched that show, American Gods. All right, the leprechaun on there is pretty tall. He was also in that show, The Wire, on the second season. It was crazy.
They have a leprechaun on The Wire. That's cool.
I think that one of the more compelling arguments or examples of something that leads to conspiracy theories are examples where they feel like the government is lying to you.
Denver Airport.
The government, Denver Airport.
Yeah.
What about that?
It's got a huge mural depicting the end of the world.
Really?
Yeah. And it's also said to be underneath the Denver Airport is a secret government base. This is fact. You cannot go, there's a giant tunnel. You're not allowed to go in it. No one goes in it.
Really?
And people videotape like government vehicles going in and out.
Ooh, I just watched that
no
movie,
explanation,
Us.
huh?
Relevant.
Really? Did you see that? I was thinking, Mikey's been saying that we should all watch a horror movie and discuss it. I think that's a good candidate. Because I hear that there is, first of all, a lot of subliminal symbolism in the film.
There's some things in it, but one of them would be conspiracies having to do with tunnels.
Oh, okay.
Tunnels under the U.S.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't doubt it, man.
Yeah. It makes me think of George Carlin. This country's going down the tubes. What tubes?
Yeah.
Where are these tubes? Have you seen one of these tubes?
Saw him in that movie, Us.
Yes. What do you think? Every state has its own tube? And a tube that big, someone would have seen it by now. Hey, Joey, look at the fucking tube over here. I could go on with Carlin forever.
He's great.
I could do like tribute stand-up and just do Carlin.
You know where I
2
went?
hours.
I went to Point Pleasant. Do you know this place?
I know Point Pleasant, New Jersey.
Okay, Point Pleasant, Virginia, West Virginia.
Okay.
It is home of the Mothman.
Oh,
Point
Oh, okay. Chasing the Mothman?
I saw that movie too. I didn't like
Okay,
it.
so
Mothman Prophecies?
Yeah, no, dude, that's nothing compared to what actually happened to me and Jeremy. You know Jeremy,
right?
What happened to us when we went to Point Pleasant? It was
Ooh,
so
let's hear it.
freaky that we were writing a pilot about it.
Oh, so you can't tell us?
Yeah, no, I don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah. These our fans gonna go write a pilot? Good luck.
No, yeah.
It takes fucking months.
Yeah.
Then build a deck.
The 17 people listening on our
Yeah.
failed
Yeah.
podcast.
Yeah.
You're overestimating.
I'm still not over that.
Yeah. It's not failed. We're
No,
still going.
That troll got to me. I'm still.
How's it failed? We're still
No,
continuing.
it's not failed because we set no bar of standard for success.
What did he call you again, though?
Yeah.
What was it?
Oh, I don't know. He called me a bunch of things. Horrible actor.
Yeah.
Just give
Well,
up.
okay, what?
I think that was the best.
Okay,
But what wasn't true that he said?
Nothing. Yeah.
All right. So Jeremy and I go to West Virginia to look. A family member died, and he's getting some inheritance, right? So we want to drive up there, check out the car and some other things and whatever, and see how we're going to bring all this stuff back. So we're like, dude, we're only like an hour away from Point Pleasant, Mothman. He's like, let's go. Wake up in the morning, it's fucking pouring out.
Yeah.
Right? It's like this weird drizzle. So we drive all the way to Point Pleasant. It's still drizzling. It lights up just enough so we can walk around and check the place out, get a coffee, whatever. So there's so we pull into Point Pleasant, and it's just like you would imagine. What was the town in Back to the Future?
Hillsdale? Or
It's
whatever.
like that.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a bunch of storefronts on one road with a giant...
Hill Valley.
Hill Valley.
Yeah.
The post office is like in the center of town, and it's a big square building with steps on all sides.
Right.
Every other place in that town is closed, except for one coffee shop and the museum, which is all about Mothman and aliens and all kinds of shit. Jeremy and I are like, this place is weird as shit. I'm like, why is nothing open? It's noon on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
Why is nothing? And he's like, I don't know. Let's keep walking. So we walk another block. We find a coffee shop. It's open. Okay. We sit down in the coffee shop. There's the person behind the counter is a little sketchy to begin with. Sit down. I'm at my table. I look over and there's a dude in the corner and he's wearing khaki pants, work boots, and a green, like khaki button down.
Okay.
Reading the paper, drinking a cappuccino. Looks over at me. I'm like, hey, like I'm me. I'm like, I
What
wave.
up, dog?
Yeah, I wave like Chris Farley or
What up,
John
player?
Candy,
Yeah.
Whatever. Just like, hey, I'm a big fat idiot. How
Right.
you doing? And he just kind of scowls at me, finishes up his coffee, folds up the paper. And then I look outside and there's another dude, khaki pants, green shirt, work boots. And I go, Jeremy. I was like, look at that guy outside. He looks just like this dude in here.
Yeah.
And he's like, wow, that's weird. That dude gets up and leaves. Okay, he leaves, takes all this shit with him, he's gone. Jeremy and I, let's go walk around. So we go outside this giant wall that surrounds the city, and on the other side of the wall are all these murals. Each 8 by 10 foot section has its own weird ass things that happen in Point Pleasant Mothman conspiracy panel.
Right.
Right? Like it's all these murals. And we're just and some aren't done. Like they just stopped doing them. Like maybe the person died mid brush stroke.
Yeah.
We're not sure, right? Like
Yeah.
and we're just trying to figure it all out. And there's these weird ass brass statues of all these people you've never heard of, right? Just stand giant. I mean, huge things. And there's at one point there's like a cabin in the middle of town that's like a museum. It's only like this. It's smaller than the studio, right?
Yeah.
So we're walking, and I look behind me, and there's that dude from the coffee shop in the khaki pants and green shirt, 30 feet behind us, walking with us.
Right.
So we get up to this monolith that's in like there's that school, the wall, the school I think it was oldest school, and this giant monolith in the middle of the Point Pleasant, and it talks about Point Pleasant. What the weird thing is that there's a docking canal for like major barges, where there no barges go.
Okay.
Right, like you could load up here like shipment containers. There's nothing there. There's nothing there. Nothing there. Like it used to. Like
this place is a ghost town. Basically.
What is
your conclusion of this place?
Okay,
What do you think that these people are
so
clones of?
We're like, dude, we gotta go. Let's go smoke some more.
Yeah.
So we're like,
I was gonna
okay.
say, does weed have something to do with this story?
Okay. So we go back to his truck. We, whatever. We get out. We're walking, and there's that dude again in the khaki pants.
Yeah.
And we're like, fuck, that guy's there, man. I said, is he following us? And Jeremy's like, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. So we go into the museum. We're not in the museum 5 minutes. He comes in right behind us. The place isn't big. It's got like 4 independent shelving sections, and then around, the whole walls are covered in shit,
Yeah.
Point Pleasant, Mothman, fucking papers, the movie, Kevin Costner's signature, or whoever was in it, Richard Gere.
Yeah.
Yeah, so all that shit, right? Kevin Costner, Richard Gere. You can
whatever,
change them out.
interchangeable.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Hamsters would argue with you.
So we're not in there 5 minutes, man, and we hear the bell on the door, and we both turn around. That dude walks in.
Yeah.
And Jeremy just is like, you following us? And the dude didn't say a word and walked right to the back through this curtain where a theater was. And we go back to where I'm like, where the fuck did he?
Yeah.
He like disappeared.
What movie were they playing?
It was like a documentary on Mothman or some shit.
Oh,
right?
Didn't see that coming.
Yeah, right. So
and Richard Gere was there.
Right. So we're like, we got to get out of here, man. So we go back to his truck. We're sitting in his truck, and we're watching. You can see the post office, and then we start to realize people are only coming and going out of this giant building that says post office, but looks like you need a card key to get into.
Mm-hmm.
And we sat there for about 15 minutes, and we watched about 20 people come in or out of that building. Not the same person went in and out.
Well, this whole story really...
Were they all wearing the same outfit?
No.
It just begs the question and raises an interesting point about how much does weed really have to do with conspiracy theories?
True.
Were you just stoned paranoid for the weekend?
We weren't stoned when we got there.
No. the weird shit started happening. It's kind of like that thing. Anyone who's ever tripped on acid, it always seems that when you trip on acid, something exceptionally weird happens, and it makes you question, like, why did I make this day get this weird by taking acid, or is the acid making my head think?
Remember, we got coffee. It was only like 9:30 in the morning. It was noon because I remember saying,
I thought you started the story with it was noon on Tuesday.
Yeah, nothing was open. All the shots were closed.
Well, maybe that dude that was following you around also didn't have anything to do and wanted to go watch a moth movie.
Maybe it was a glitch in the simulation.
Well, it got us thinking about like what could be at Point Pleasant.
I find it very interesting that
probably not a lot going on there.
I find it very interesting that Elon Musk said that he said, paraphrasing, that if this wasn't a simulation that we're living in, he'd be shocked. Like, he is it's almost an absolute certainty.
Is that like on the Joe Rogan podcast?
Yeah.
That's such an interesting episode.
It is. I know. It's such a great episode.
Which also includes
weed. He smoked weed and he got in trouble for it.
It
and
is God's simulation because he knows the beginning and he knows the end already.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even if you do look at it from that perspective, it still is a simulation. It's still us acting out the predetermined. Yeah. Like a puppet house, sort of. You know,
bumper cars.
Yeah. I know, it seems like it with the population these days too. But there are any number of conspiracy theories that we could go into, and I know people are very passionate about some of their beliefs in some, and it's not necessarily just people who believe in Bigfoot and will not be swayed from that. There's the flat Earth movement, which is insane and mind blowing, and
well, we talked about that. I personally think that all these people got together and they're trolling.
Yeah. It's all
trolling the news, and then when they go down the news, and
I love that a guy tried to shoot himself up into the air like a rocket to try to get a better view.
What happened? Did that happen?
He went like 1,700 feet in the air, I think, or something like that. Like, you're not going to see the curvature of the Earth from
how did he do that?
that height. It was absurd. Like,
he's like,
I have no idea.
There's
Somehow
nothing.
He shot himself in. What about the dude that we saw on the boat? We saw some guy
sailing.
We saw a guy
sailing on a surfboard.
Who was I'd never seen it before in my life. He was surf sailing. I guess he was on like a surfboard with a big parachute.
Yeah.
And
it was just a really big kite.
It really looked like he was out of control, like the wind was taking him out of control. He couldn't stop himself, and he just was going off into the distance. Like, we could picture him thousands of meters away, like, help! Somebody help me! Get me off this thing! But,
well, he'll just go to the Earth's flat, and then he'll float into the next planet.
It's just funny that when you think about with conspiracy theories, the first thing you have to think of is what's the motivation for them lying for us. And with the flat Earth thing, what's the motivation to try to fool the world into thinking it's round? What did they accomplish from that? Why would they? Yeah. Why is every international pilot lying about their flight pattern to hide the fact that the Earth is actually truly flat? Like, can't they start at the motivation of that?
Well, I think it's just to be the one that knows the truth. And
to
that's
prove
it.
That you it's just
wrong.
About high keeping. Yeah.
But first,
they want to know that
they have to establish
that
that you can't believe anything you've ever heard, and science isn't real.
Yeah. But believe them.
Yeah.
But that's another thing that I find interesting. People who lean towards conspiracy theories seem to do so because of a lack of trust, and yet they get these things that they can only at best be making a guess about. They know that there's other possibilities. They're making a guess, even if it's what they think as an educated guess, but yet they insist it so much as truth that they have to be aware of the fact that they're potentially the one peddling the lies. You're the one pushing the distrust further by trying to convince people the Earth is flat.
Listen,
and
you either die
acting
a hero
like you know
or
it
live
as
long
a
enough
fact.
to be the villain.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I have no problem with questioning things, but when you take it to where they assume that they know the truth,
that shit I don't even worry about. Those guys are retarded.
Yeah.
What really worries me is things like the real conspiracies, the Illuminati, the
things that have actually
the
probably
KGC,
happened.
the Knights of the Golden Circle. What happened to the Masons? Where are the Templar Knights?
Yeah,
they're still around.
I saw that video game.
The Templar Knights went from Templar Knights to the KGC, which were the Knights of the Golden Circle, which Jesse James was supposed to be part of.
Yeah.
Do you know all that? That's crazy.
Like the West Coast Choppers guy?
No, the gunslinger.
Oh.
Yeah.
Gunslinger.
Isn't that Jesse James, the guy that does like the West Coast
Choppers?
Choppers?
Yeah, he's the West Coast Choppers guy, but Jesse James the gunslinger.
Oh, okay.
The outlaw.
Oh. All right.
Yeah. So that's the stuff that really concerns me and the Illuminati and who in Hollywood for real is part of the Illuminati. Who? Because some people, some of the actors are very well off. But then you have Scientology, and is that?
Oh well, then you have
into...
Tom Cruise, who's living like a god on Earth.
Oh, Miscavige is out of his mind. David Miscavige is like out there, man.
I know. I mean, they worship him to the point where he is like a false prophet, if you would. And I'm not even saying that. I mean, obviously, Scientology is bullshit, and I'm sorry if that offends people, but it's obvious it's
difficult to take in.
It's a bullshit.
I don't know enough about it.
Yeah, I know that it's written by a guy who wrote more fiction than anybody in the history of the world.
But isn't it like not a real religion anyway? I don't know.
It is, actually. It is. We could get into that someday.
Yeah,
but,
I don't know enough about that shit.
Yeah, we'll get into it.
I don't want to talk about them because I hear they murdered people.
Well,
when you watch Going Clear, a really interesting documentary.
I mean, we
got
to be careful. We're only about 30 miles.
I know, from their headquarters. I know.
They already know what we're saying.
We're going to get ourselves evaluated or whatever it is that they do.
Yeah, get on the e-meter and have to fucking talk about our past lives. Yeah.
Where do I put my feet?
No, it's just in watermelon. I don't know.
Should we get our tinfoil hats out now?
I was actually in It's Always Sunny reference.
Well, I'll be honestly, back in the day, when they did come up with the fact that the Earth was round, I mean, that almost got them killed because the people could not handle that. That was illegal.
Well, I could see that in a primitive world that hasn't seen this or understood any of it.
Yeah.
That is a hard thing to sell someone. Yeah, okay, I get that completely. But we're so beyond that at this point. But but at that moment, sure, I could see. I could see back then that being a very debatable thing because
could you imagine?
They don't even understand the universe at that point.
I play a game
at all. At all.
My friends and I would play a game called "What Would You Do If You Went Back in Time?"
Right.
Where would you go? Let's say you go to the 1600s.
Do you dress up for this game? By the way,
and then we roll dice.
Can we play this game right now?
Total RPG.
Are we playing this game right now?
No. But I was just saying, what would you do? You go back to the 1600s with all the knowledge you have now.
I don't want to go back there.
You sound like a friggin' lunatic.
You just reminded me that it happened again. That one of my ideas is being made into a film.
We're listening. That's why I apologized to Facebook
yesterday.
Earlier.
This movie yesterday. I had the exact same thought, basically. A little different, but almost the same thing. Which is, it's a movie that's out now. It's about a guy who lives in a world where everybody forgot the Beatles except him. So he releases all of their music as if it's his own.
Yeah.
As one guy who puts out all of a sudden he's the best songwriter of all time.
Yeah.
I had this movie, I thought a long-ass time ago, about that very fucking idea.
That specific? Because didn't they do that in Hot Tub Time Machine?
I had this idea before that even, but that's what it was about. It was about the Beatles, a guy.
I mean, didn't they also kind of do that in Back to the Future?
Well, not really. No.
This concept isn't
like
new.
This.
That's Chuck Berry.
Yeah, they touched on that concept, but it wasn't a whole film.
Eugene
I was
Berry.
thinking that too. I was thinking that too about all these reboots and stuff. There's reboots and remaking things and stealing the imagery and the title and the characters of a film to make a reboot or whatever. But rebooting a concept is going to start happening endlessly. Like that at the least. It already does happen, but it's going to happen even more.
Well, if you boil it all down, I mean, how many concepts do you really have?
Well, yeah, and that's my argument to that. Like when I pitch an idea for a movie that I came up with and someone says, "Oh, well, what about that? Whatever." Well, what about Boy Meets Girl? That's been done a few times, hasn't it?
So many of
those. It's like when you're thinking of a concept, it's some things are done endlessly.
I prefer Girl Meets Girl, but yeah.
Yeah.
That's boring.
Yes,
So I do have a final note. You encouraged me to get back to writing my final notes on these topics.
I like them.
So I do have a final note on conspiracy theories that I'll wrap up the show with. But before I do that, I want to tell one story real quick about something that happened this morning.
Hold on. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but apparently there's been a lot of Sasquatch sightings in Georgia.
In Georgia, huh?
According to Haley.
Interesting.
Oh, yeah.
What do we think about
Haley at it
Bigfoot?
again?
Bigfoot,
Real? A myth? An ape? A lost
well,
homeless
that's
man?
the thing about it. I feel like there's so many possibilities of things that could have been misconstrued. If you're looking for Bigfoot and you're thinking Bigfoot, and then all of a sudden you happen to see a bear standing on its two legs for a minute or 10
You're gonna shit
seconds,
your pants.
which could happen in the distance, yeah, you might think through the trees. It's never like, oh, dude, I was having a forest fire and Bigfoot came and sat right next to me and was talking to me for 45 minutes. It's
Dude,
always some
you can play
spotting
the fucker
through the
harmonica?
trees after, you know.
Yeah, I
it's,
saw Pete's dragon. Now I see dragons everywhere.
Well, that might be
that's
the
a different
70s.
story, man. That's
the 70s.
That's a totally different trip.
So, what time do you want to go back to, Alex? What was that?
No, so I did have a story I wanted to tell, but so this dude from Japan who got an autograph from me, wanted me to send it to him in Japan, which I did, which was very nice of him.
Is that illegal?
Yeah, I go. I don't know. I signed an autograph and sent it to him, and he said, "I want to send you a gift." And he said the same thing to Christine. And I don't really have a shipping address for people to send things to. I don't give out my home address. So I gave the studio. Anyone could look up the studio address anyway.
Yeah.
But the trouble is I'm not here all day, every day to accept packages. So I missed the package, and they left a note. And in Clearwater, the post office is, as you know, on the other side by Hercules. It's on the other side of
way the
town.
fuck over there.
It's a whole bunch of traffic. It's always packed there, endlessly packed, line out the door. It's a pain in the ass to go pick up a package. Okay?
So you didn't.
So I didn't, and I asked Christine, hey, what did he send you? Because he sent her something also. And it were these Cokes, 2 bottles of Coke from Japan that are like collector Cokes or something.
Cool.
And I said, oh, okay. And then he wrote me several times, did you get the package yet? Did you pick up the package? And so
He's like, "'Cause it's going to go bad.
I wrote him and I said, it was Cokes, right, that you sent me? Which I learned from Christine. And he said, yeah, you got them? And so I just said, yeah, I got them. Thank you so much. I appreciate the thought. Oh, great, thank you. And I didn't think about it at all. And then he writes me today with a picture of the returned mail to him.
What an asshole.
And he says, I'm very disappointed in you that you would lie to me. I would have preferred you just threw them in the trash than have them sent back to me. That was very rude. And I felt terrible, obviously.
You should feel a little terrible for that. What a dick.
I do. And I said to him, I'm sorry. You know, I appreciated the sentiment as I thanked you for it. I didn't think about the fact that they'd send it back to you. I would never have done something that rude intentionally. I'm sorry that happened. I do appreciate it. I told him the truth. I mean, I said it's on the other side of town. It would take me an hour to go there and back. I'm not going to drink beverages sent to me in the mail, obviously.
Yeah.
He said, no, they're a collector item. Okay, and then he even said, like, I bet if it was expensive, you would have went and got it, or something like that. And then he wrote me back, and he said, I'm sorry, I was so upset. I was like, no, I get it. You have every right to be. But yeah, I got busted.
Send them back to
I got
send them back
busted
to
on
me,
that
and I'll
one.
take a picture of it.
You don't want to take a chance with something in the mail like that? Just take a drink,
Yeah,
bud.
take a drink.
Yeah, if anybody
What's the
wants to
worst
send
thing
me
that can
Cokes
happen?
in the mail.
One time someone mailed to the studio to my name a jar of pickles and,
Fuck
a,
yeah, I
and a
love
jar
pickles.
of chili, homemade chili.
Fuck yeah, let's do it.
It's like in mason jars. Like, yeah, let me pop this open and just eat it all and
Yeah.
just hope that.
Listen, they don't care about you enough to kill you.
Yeah, and it wasn't
They're
like
just trying to
someone
be
I
nice.
knew, a fan from
Yeah.
Facebook that sent
Yeah.
it. There was just
It was your mom.
It was a random name of someone I never heard of.
It was that
in my
fucking
life.
troll, man.
Yeah, probably.
You thought it was chili.
It's exactly it. I'm
Probably-
not gonna,
you probably met
to
them
eat
at
a
a
fucking
con-
mason jar liquid
Here's what
shit.
happened. Here's what happened. You were at a convention. You got drunk at the bar. They said, I make chili and pickles. And you
Yeah.
said, send me some.
Yeah, and
That's
maybe.
what happened.
It's possible, but
Yeah.
I doubt it.
Yeah.
I doubt that.
Why do you fucking hate pickles so much?
I don't hate pickles.
Sounds like it.
No, I hate.
Yeah.
I hate I hate random pickles that come in the mail from strangers.
Look, random pickles are delicious too.
I feel like Mikey's talking about something else.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
Am I? I probably.
If you like random pickles, that's
Yeah, I like random pickles.
Do it on your time.
This week at Chasers, random pickles.
All right, so I did write.
Pickle juice, yeah.
All right, I did write out some thoughts on this week's topic of conspiracy theories. We didn't get into that much, but we don't even have that much time left in the show. We already ran late.
Yeah, we'll talk about conspiracies some more next week.
I think we're going to go fishing tomorrow. I think these guys are going to get up and go
Yeah.
fishing. Hopefully we'll catch something better. And
We're going to do this around like 10:30 again, right? That's good for me.
Tomorrow,
He knows when
yeah.
the tides come in, guys. He knows when the tides come in.
I do know when the tides come in, and it is later in the day, so that should be fine.
Dope. Okay.
Yeah.
You can try to be fishers of men.
It's going to be windy, I'll tell you that.
I like women.
That sounds...
Oh shit. I cut up your things there. All right,
That's
so
all right.
let me tell you these thoughts here. Hold on, I'm going to mute those other mics for a second. All right, so what is it about conspiracy theories that appeal to so many of us? This is mostly stuff that we talked about today, but I did write out my thoughts. I think it's the inherent lack of trust that compels us to question everything around us. I think it's the desire in us to believe remarkable stories of intense deceit through cover-ups and grand schemes of deception that rival the most impressive fictitious tales ever told. It's like a tempting fantasy that leads to the appealing notion of having one's mind blown. I believe all those factors play a role. I think there's also, obviously, the very real fact that we often are not told the truth, and certainly not the entire story. I think sometimes a conspiracy theory is the most available alternate reality to a reality that's too evil to fathom, even though sometimes those theories that people come up with are often far more evil than the actual events. I think in most cases, I believe the appeal to these is the intriguing concept of knowing something that maybe you're not supposed to know, or having more information than those around you, which takes us back to the playground and memories of childhood in the nostalgic idea of, do you want to know a secret? Yes, we all do. We all want to know secrets. No one's comfortable, though, with the thought that they're being lied to. And I believe the most telling aspect of what makes a good conspiracy theory is the supposed cause for the deceit. Why do they not want us to know the truth? Like determining any crime, what is the motivation? The next thread worth pulling on are individual lies that have been proven to be false regarding the subject at hand. When these lies are told, why are they told? And what are they trying to hide? Of course, though, as with anything else, this can be taken too far if the desire to believe in a conspiracy outweighs your ability to look at that issue rationally. Then your bias can affect your belief. If your trust is so damaged that no evidence is factual enough to settle your disbelief, then perhaps this self-described label of a conspiracy theorist disrupts your ability to see the issue without prejudice. I think the issues that garner conspiracy theory discussion are the ones that provide the observer with many different possibilities and many avenues to explore in terms of what could have possibly happened. The more potential avenues, the better chance of gaining traction with conspiracy theorists. What determines the strength of any particular theory, as I said, I think is the motivation behind them, but also the believability of an alternative perspective. That believability, the likelihood of such a conspiracy, should raise questions in some circumstances, but should also silence doubt in others. While it's certainly valuable to be in search of the truth, there are also negative outcomes that come along with not believing anything you hear ever. Sometimes that's a fine line, but I think it's important to be aware of our uncertainty and not ever to claim that you know anything beyond a shadow of a doubt, especially in those things that remain highly doubtful. Otherwise, you risk being the one that peddles in lies and deceit over issues in which you're only giving your best guess, and none of us will ever really know unequivocally. So if you're pushing that as fact, you're only further damaging the decomposing trust that's already in our society. So you have to be careful with that. And that's the final note. So my thoughts on conspiracies this week. Next week, we're going to talk to Ed Gale, I think, if I'm not mistaken. He's going to be on the air with us. He was, of course, Chucky in some scenes and Howard the Duck, and he's done a lot of stunt work and acting in a lot of different films, and is an interesting guy. And I'd be happy to have him on. And we'll get some good music for you, scrape together another band or artist. Go look for Georgie's video from a couple weeks ago. I just posted that online. It should be up. Well, it'll be up in a second, actually. Go check that out. But yeah, thank you guys for coming in. Plate, thank you guys for coming. Guys. And I want to thank Cerina Vincent for being on.
Yeah.
All right, man. And yeah, that's it. I'm gonna play you out with another record. Garen, who's here, who's their bass player, I guess did some work with these guys or played bass with them. I should have known for sure, but it's a good metal band. I wanted to play a little more metal tonight. This is a band called Akarthia, and this is Nocturnal Internment. Thank you guys for being with us tonight. We'll see you next week.
This has been The Final Note. Tune in next Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time.